I've got to keep the muff.
It's the muff dog!
The muff dog. Is
The muff dog.
Why are you called the muff dog?
I don't know.
Mate, I'm buzzing he's
Just
on.
when you break in the first team at Motherwell, they just start calling it.
The muff dog, did they?
Aye, but
No,
we'll do with Murph. Murph will do.
aye, Muff's the right. Mate, we've got something right back we go.
Can't wait to hear your stories about Motherwell.
No, it's more just growing up.
I tell you what, bad tension on this couch. There's been years of him telling lies
tell
about
lies
it.
about it,
Muff, honestly, I've seen now that I'll be honest, see back in the day, I would throw a few out there just to get. You try getting that world, the media world. See, now I'm mature now, I don't need all that now.
You know the amount of times I got a message saying Slaney's been talking about you again. That was he saying.
So, to put it right once
Aye,
and
they
for all,
fucking stole all this. It's
did
positive.
Jamie Murphy play football manager on holiday?
No, is it not Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? On the team bus you were playing Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
No, they fuck.
Only if he was asking the
He
questions.
was wild on the bus.
Who was it? Who was a better teammate?
Who's a bit.
Oh, for me?
No, for
No,
Murphy.
Jamie, who was a better teammate of the two? Banter-wise and playing wise.
Oh, yeah, I think you're a bit of both for each.
Mate, he used to
we
pick me
didn't
up.
play that.
So was Andy a better player than Slaney?
Andy got to be a better player, aye. Of course.
That's that for you, man.
Mate, remember 17 in Europe?
I used to pick Slaney up every morning, the wee homeless guy at the bus stop.
Mate, at the bus,
That was his dad.
mate, it was at the bus stop, but you always played DJ Vance, I always remember that.
did.
DJ Vance blasting it.
Still
on.
do.
Turn it right up, still
Still
get
do,
it on.
Brilliant, and picking a
What's a
young boy up.
DJ? He's a DJ Vance son.
Oh, fucking.
It was normal tunes, it was like Akon raved up.
I'm
Bit of
locked
bounce.
up.
He's more as well like remixing like old
Aye.
like
Do you know
TV actions and whatnot.
He actually done my 30th birthday party. I had a surprise 30th. I didn't know DJ Vance was a DJ.
It's Muff.
We were all there.
Fucking unreal, mate.
Andy,
that's good.
remember Silver back in the day?
Oh, Silver Thursday.
Lyle Scott one on with a blue wicked and the G-star jeans hanging down your arse.
Where was Silver? And it's whereabouts in the tin?
With Toby
Central.
Jog, next to Toby Jog.
Central.
Oh, was it across the centre?
So it's
why
actually
Silver?
where I met my wife on a night out with Slaney. And
That's
Silver.
unreal.
So we were
story.
out a night out, and so was it me that set it up, kinda?
Well, she went to your school, didn't she?
So me and Nadine, Muff's missus, we were in the same class. I think it was only English because she was smarter than me, so it was only English that us two were in. One of the best women at that time, obviously last year, you could ever meet.
Was there ever any?
I think she always treated me just as that one of the, a wee pal. A wee pal could help her out with it and like that. But she was a diamond on me, a diamond.
See, talk about Silver, right? See, when I remember when I was in school and I first started training with the first team, right? I was only like 16, that, and the boys were now in the time, and just like, have you been out? And they'd done that. I was like, aye, Silver. And straight away, like that, talk me through the setup it once you walk in, because I was obviously lying, kidding on that I've been out in the town. So I told me, I was like, oh, you walk in and you take a left and go downstairs. Straight on the spot, mate. Tell me
was
that.
that-
So was that the first time you met?
That was the first time I met her.
And that's it?
I need to ask you a question though. Have you ever been on a night out with him and seen him get off a bird?
No, come on.
Because I've never.
We wouldn't mind, mate. We wouldn't.
You used to take them out the road so that nobody could see.
Aye. Muff, we'll start with you. Any pet peeves in life, mate?
In life or in football, I've got a bit of
Both, he's one each.
you know these useless stats in football.
Well, I've
that
seen
they
one
come up
De
with?
Bruyne.
Does your manager not love stats now?
He likes a stat, aye.
But a good stat.
Aye.
Uh-huh.
Do you know when they start coming out with it in interviews about the XG and the it could beat 3-0. Like XG doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? So stuff like that.
You want to just tag Clement next time?
But is that not a good indication on how your team's doing if you are creating like chances?
I think so, but I think just refined a wee bit. Like Sobersley last week when he dribbles past everyone, he's in the box, he can shoot about 3 times, but he doesn't shoot, so that doesn't count against the XG, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, De Bruyne said one, didn't he? The most pointless one is pass completion.
Come past.
Yeah, that's another
He
one.
went like, well, I could go on a pitch and keep it for 100%, but how many passes did I go make an assist to play forward?
I agree with that for a De Bruyne's position, but pass completion is important in other areas.
And
now.
as a six.
Like
Aye, it's
Rodri
like
can't have
Rodri.
60% pass completion.
Aye, if you're left right winger and your pass completions
Aye.
95%, you're doing something right.
Aye.
You're passing the ball back to it all the time,
Aye.
innit? What about you? Anything this week?
I've already said it, but the only one that keeps coming to my head is these roadworks at Charing Cross. It is absolutely horrific.
Half a glass.
Mate, I seen 10 guys, right? I seen 10 guys at Stepsy Cumbernauld Road painting the fucking road lines. Who gives a fuck about painting road lines?
I know, just fix the roads.
Just fuck
Where was that coming out?
Cumbernauld Road at Steps. 10 guys to paint the lines in between the fucking road.
No, but the Charing Cross one, mate, that's been years, mate.
Oh, that's
It's been a
years,
while.
mate.
That's always
Canny's
been-
one roundabout's a disaster at the minute as well. They're fixing all that.
There's the next big coach coming your way.
You into it, Murph?
The Muff Dog. Still got a bit to go in the career.
I never want to focus too much on it because I'm still playing. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to accept that I'm going to finish. I'm going to go into the coaching, but Me and Andy done our badges together and we've worked our way up to the A, so we'll see what happens. You never know.
We've seen some crackers on the licences, haven't we?
No, there's some.
Any ones you can reveal, or is that too touchy?
There's one straight away. I'll not obviously never going to name somebody, right? But
I know who he's talking about.
the fact that he passed right was nothing short of incredible. It that bad. And out of nowhere, Muff texts me WhatsApp. Mate, he was on Sky Sports News talking about, remember?
Aye.
He was on Sky Sports News talking about his country's football team. And we were like, no way. Like, this boy's not got a clue what he was doing.
What, how bad are we talking on the licence? What was
I think on the licence, especially the B licence, you have to be really bad to like no pass it. As long as you do everything properly, know a wee bit about football, you pass. But the A licence was harder. We done well on the A licence because we got in kind of a shortcut kind of thing. But
So this guy that you're talking about, he's that a well-known name?
No, he's not. No, he's not a well-known name. But out of nowhere, he was on Sky Sports News talking about like his own.
Sky Sports News are pet peeve. See some of the fucking characters they've got on that now talking about football. Mate.
Watch it now, mate.
Holy fuck. See these guys, right? This is a pet peeve of mine. English, and they're calling themselves European football experts. You're one of them, sorry.
No, but
But what you done do is, see when they speak English, right, and then see when they pronounce a Spanish person's name, they go, so you know, you've got Bellingham at Real Madrid and Carvajal. Where the fuck's that? Just call him Carvajal.
Mate, that's spot on.
That fucking does my tits in, man.
Spot on, try to pronounce it properly.
Pronouncing fucking foreign people's name in a foreign language. What are you doing?
Mate, that is amazing.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know what you mean.
Nah, you're
but
spot on there.
please tell me, that's just reminded me, please tell me you've seen the Steve McLaren
When the Jamaican
with the handshake,
He's like
mate,
fist
they boys
bump.
are just taking the piss.
Yeah,
Taking the
yeah,
piss out of him, mate.
Mate, that was
That's a
awkward.
free-for-all Jamaican,
That
eh?
was awkward, wasn't it?
he's got a smile on his face. He must be thinking, "What am I doing here?"
What was it he was saying again?
Safe, brother, something like that.
Oh, mate, it was brilliant.
Mate, that was
Mate, that
weird.
Carvajal's, that is tremendous.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Have you seen people doing it?
Aye.
I know what you mean.
Wines the fucking
Was it
bottom.
Bruno Fernandes turns into Bruno Fernandes? See people call him Bruno Fernandes.
Fernandes.
Start all that. I know it's his name, right? But like, it's nobody else
No.
says it like that. Not here.
So right, talk about European football. We have
Did you
mentioned it, but your vlog was
Did you
fucking
enjoy the
incredible.
vlog genuinely?
Amazing, man.
Amazing.
Did you?
I was genuinely laughing like, out loud. I thought it was hilarious.
Amazing, mate, honestly.
Did you?
Genuinely
So,
amazing.
We're going back again. 074. 074. We're heading to Girona versus Barcelona. That game is on Sunday, so we'll be flying out on the Saturday. Taking
This weekend, aye?
This weekend again. We'll be going to go Ayr. La Liga obviously now officially went as there, but I can't believe how it's all worked.
Will you get the same access that you got at Las Palmas?
We're in negotiations now. We're in negotiations with La Liga.
It's like, see when you got the papers and it was like James Richardson on... Is that the kind of
Italia
value
Channel 5.
Aye,
the episode where he gets
try to
sunstroke?
The nose was looking for. Oh, the nose was that bad.
So wee Flecky was brilliant, wasn't he?
Aye, he was
Flex
My
that
boy, my
legend.
11-year-old boy's got that watch.
Couldn't believe it, mate.
Amazing, man.
No, what an experience. So this week we're heading out to Girona and Barcelona. As always, we'll be touching into obviously Girona, the culture, and Barcelona and Catalonia, the amount of players and gods that they've brought through. Mate, Guardiola came through there, the biggest god in football, and the amount of players that have come through there. So we'll be touching on so much different areas there, and surprises, it's got to be as well.
Just give us a quick rundown on Girona. How they doing this year?
They started no great. The last two games have picked up, so no bad. But the first time they'll be playing in Champions League in their full history of the club. So they're playing against Barcelona and then PSG. So exciting times for Girona coming ahead.
Do you know, it was brilliant, McBurnie talking about the way they play and how they train and
Aye.
like how he's always been pigeonholed as this big striker.
Well,
Put him in the right system, mate, and look,
Well, in the game,
difference it makes.
if seeing the game, so I would love to, if we could have actually, like, you're not allowed to film the game, but I'd love to see the way he was playing. He was dropping in and like potting it and then moving, potting it again. Looked like a completely different player. And he was saying in the lift coming down, I'm so sorry if I got to get it on camera, but he was saying the possession boxes are so small. Everything's so tight and it's constantly working. And he says his decision making, everything just feels.
That's why you've made that so small, innit? Same,
Get the best out of it. Get the complete. That's why it's getting the best out of it.
So look, he's talking about Scott McKenna, right? And you said he hardly gave the ball away because he's always got 3 or 4 options. Watch him play for Scotland, mate. He gives the ball away constantly. Do you know why? No options.
Well, that's what McBurney said, because I was saying McKenna probably before he went to Las Palmas. You're probably saying that, is he good playing out? But there, as you said, there 3 or 4, he was actually looked excellent at doing it. He really looked comfortable doing
Because
it.
Monday to Friday, he's putting these situations training in small areas. There's your 3 options, and you get better and you get better when it comes to Saturday. It comes automatic.
And he said that to McBurney, did say that, it just makes my game so much easier when you've got guys that always they're shown for the ball.
You see this all the time as well. You talk about like ball playing centre half, right? It's like Scott McKenna, he said, you can't tell me can he pass the ball 10 yards?
See,
Like a midfielder
No.
or a fullback.
That's all
You know what I mean?
tactics, though, innit? That's
Aye.
all about people being in the right
Aye.
positions and stuff.
Ended up arguing with 3 guys. See, I need to stop it, mate. I win this on it to relax, mate. And these 3 guys are talking about Scottish football, mate. I'm like, lads, I'm going to need to disagree with you, man. I didn't even know you.
Can you
but
know,
I'm going to-
see that one?
See, this is the sentence. I was going to leave it. This is the sentence. Scottish players can't do that, passing it from the back. What, he can't control the ball and pass it 5 yards. How's he made it as a football player? Of course he can.
Aye, but people, I think, mate, there's a lot of that even through, no everybody, but there's a lot sometimes when you're coaching and you do hear it, like a lot of people that get rid of it. That does seem to be a thing. It's quite, even, but
No.
kids,
Coaches should just stand aside when the ball. That's what it's like. Just get rid of it.
I don't know, usually, just like ever watch football with your dads? Ever?
Oh,
aye, I watched the last
Couldn't it?
Rangers
Mate,
game.
see if I'm watching it, say I'm watching a Rangers game with my dad, right, and somebody passes the ball back to goal, and my dad go, fucking hell! Like, gets pure nervous on his seat, mate.
Mate, my dad's
Passes it back to the goalie.
Mate, my dad's the exact same. Fuck you going back to my for? So see you going back to my for?
Some of the shouts at football games are horrendous, man. But you know you can't see it, and you're just like, right, forget about that.
Again, I always say, why be the country that's like that?
I know.
I think, but I do think the way football's gone, it will change. How's Bruni been? Enjoy working
Flying,
under him,
isn't
mate?
it?
Been really good,
Been
aye.
brilliant, mate.
Him and Whittaker and his assistant.
So does Bruni take does he take a lot of the coaching?
It takes a bit, Whittaker takes a lot of it as
right
well.
on
Aye. They're both really good at it. They've obviously got us organised. We started well, like you said. So hopefully keep it going.
How do they work it with like, who talks? Is it just Bruni all the time, match day?
On a match day, it's Gaffer, aye. It's, you call him Gaffer. I don't know if I call him Bruni to his face, but aye, the Gaffer will speak and then invite, like most they invite the other ones in, they say something at the end. So
How is his team talks? Is it?
good, aye. Like yeah, for obviously not been a manager a long time, but he talks well. He talks. I can imagine being a captain probably helps because you're
Aye.
talking constantly at the team and that anyway.
See, when I watch his Murphy, it actually looks like it's a reflection of him.
Him, definitely.
You would say that's probably right.
Press really well.
Aye, he's right on the body contact's his favourite one. So
be
same
aggressive,
as him,
hit people.
aggressive, up against people. You know, do you know the old school? Let them know they're in the game. He wants you to be right up there, winning the ball back in their half. So it has worked well for us so far. Yeah, a couple of difficult games as well, but
The game
I've
was
watched
unreal.
it.
The Archie
Aye.
game was incredible.
I've watched these a couple of times, watched that Airdrie game as well. I think you've got a right chance this year. Got good individuals as well.
Definitely.
So like, play well as a team,
Henderson.
but got individuals that can win you games of football, which I think helps.
Aye,
especially in that
and
league.
you know that if you don't do exactly what he's wanting you to do, you're not playing. So he's kind of got that factor where you think, right, I'm going to do exactly what he says so that I can play and so that we win.
It's actually a very good league this year.
No, it's a good league
Shout out
championship.
It's
The
wide open,
stand-up's
innit?
very good.
Coverage is poor. The punditry on it's not a great bit of
Aye, one gang.
But there's easy 7-8 teams that you could say could get playoffs or better
Yeah,
easily.
we're saying we've had a good start on that, but all it takes is 2-3 games. Somebody wins 2-3 games in a row, you're right up there. Or you lose 2 or 3 games, you're right down there. So
He tipped just to go down at the start.
No, I never moved on to it. Do you know who I did tip to win it though? Queen's Park.
Great shout for you, mate, honestly. Just let's keep it.
I said
Spanish
Partick.
but that's
I'm
how
not
close
doing
it
well.
is.
I said
Somebody
Airdrie,
can do
mate.
that. Somebty can come out the pack midway and
I thought Dom, I just think Dom's a magical player and I just thought he's going to be on the Spanish captain as well, but it's just,
See, just quickly on that press. See, I love that contact. He wants body contact. See so many pressers, mate. That go, this is my pet hate.
I've seen you do it.
How many times I
Aye,
pulled
it's a big
my
thing.
boy? Press, go win the ball back to stand 2 yards for somebody and do that stupid thing. Seen that? Have you seen that with Peter?
You get it.
You're pressing to win the ball. Go and tackle him. Right, on to Scotland, lads. Who watched the games?
Aye.
I watched both of them.
What do you think, Murph? Improvement for the Euros?
It was an improvement in terms of performance. He went the back four, which
I like that better.
people wanted. I think he would probably want to go a back four as well. Like his Kilmarnock teams and that, they were very good and competing in that. They were back four.
Yeah.
But you know he's played that way because he wants Tierney and Robertson in there. But it was good to see them try it. Just people were wanting a few more changes, but it's competitive games. Like if it was friendlies, I think he could completely switch it up, bring young boys in, play them. I'd like to see maybe Max Johnson, someone like that. But since
definitely.
we're struggling a wee bit at right back.
Definitely.
But performance-wise, good results.
Why do you think that guys like Matt Johnson doesn't get a single minute in any of the 2 games?
Probably is just what Murph's saying, the fact that it is competitive fixtures, it is this Nations League.
But
To
what's
be
the
honest,
worry
yeah,
about? We've played the
I
Champions
might
League,
be
haven't
completely wrong here, but I don't think he is a regular every week, is he, for Sturmgratz?
No, again, he's maybe one that you want for the future, but because we're struggling with right backs now, like Hickey, Patterson, both injured, we do really need another right back.
Hickey's
You
a
can't
big
just go with
miss,
Alston all the time.
Nah, man.
He's been a huge.
What about you two? Would you like to see it stay as the 4 at the back, or do you like the 3?
Listen, let's not beat around the bush. When Tierney's back, it's a back 5. So as much as we like seeing it a back 4 the now, that will not continue when Kieran Tierney's back, because I know you said about playing him left to a back 4. It's not going to happen, is it? He's not going to play left centre half of a back 4. Although you probably feel as if he could. I just don't think I don't think Steve Clark's that way inclined that he's going to play Tierney in a back 2. But I agree. I thought the performance was better. You know more than anyone. You spoke about this last year quite a lot. But in terms of a coach, you can set up a team however way you can. If you're going to make the individual mistakes that they made, but the 2 penalties they gave away, especially
no need, Andy.
Hanley's, man.
No need.
A guy for Hanley's been brilliant for Scotland. His experience to sort of dive in the way he did in that sort of that scenario. And then for me, I think Angus Gunn, I think that's 3-4 goals you can look at that have, unless he played very well, to be fair,
Yeah.
he probably stops it being a heavier scoreline. But you look at 3-4 goals that have went in his whatever 8-9 caps, that if you've got to feel it, he could do better, he could save them. I think he's got to save that first against Portugal.
Should we, would other countries change their full shape and system based on 2 players? Like, does it come at a stage where you go, if this is how I want to play, the money's just going to need to play? Like, you can't imagine Spain going, they both are good in that, so we'll change their shape completely to fit the
I agree with you, but I tell you what, it'd be a very brave call because Steve Clark had done that to leave out Kieran Tierney or Andy Robertson.
Also, the fact that we didn't have real good natural wingers that play every week, it also fits into why we play the 3 as well.
It's a real lack. We've got a real lack. I even think with wide players, not a lot coming through. Ben Doak's probably your only one.
What did you think of his performance? I'd never seen the first game, I've seen the second game. People were saying he done quite
He
well.
looks exciting, aye.
I'd like to see Meriam Muff.
You want to see more. You understand a wee bit what Steve Clark's saying. I'm not saying it's no right that he plays 90 minutes, but if he's hardly played at like first team level, was injured all last year, you don't want to just throw him in all the time. But he definitely looks as if he's going to be around the Scotland team for the next 10 years or whatever. If he can get the...
Because people were quite critical. His press conference speaking about Ben Doak, weren't saying we want to protect him, we didn't want to fling him in too early.
I get that.
I do see his point in the fact that he's not played first team football and he's not played a lot of football since his injury.
I get the injury point of view, but I think if it was down to just his age, I don't agree with that.
Nah, I can't imagine.
No, get him in.
Can't imagine it. Well, you wouldn't like to think it's just about his age. I think it is probably just.
No, if he's one of the best players you've got, he plays. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Just need to get
it is
to
that. It's
point.
like, Scotland have obviously played the back 3 to 100%. A big part is to fit in Andy Robertson and Tierney. But when you look at the midfielders they've got, it kind of suits what you've got in terms of the McTominay,
getting them on,
McGregor
McGinn,
before he retired, McGinn and Billy Gilmore.
Yep.
It is just the fact that it's the lack of attacking options in it there.
Aye.
You want Scotland to play 4-3-3 expansive. They don't really have the front players today, do they?
No, I think Scotland kind of getting to tournaments is probably our peak at the minute. I think to make that next step to break the group stage and get to the next round, you need good attacking, not good attacking players, European level attacking players.
Yeah.
That's the difference between us and maybe like somebody like Switzerland or all these kind of teams. They're just above us.
Because people do say we have got like top players, but it's top players on the one area of the pitch, isn't it? Some midfielders are full-backs, like your centre-backs are no top class and your forward players are no top class, let's be honest.
No.
And yet people are critical of Steve Clark, saying he's only won 1 in 15, but see when you actually look at the fixtures, like, should we be beating these teams that...
I think there's been a few, obviously Northern Ireland, there's a one.
That was a bad one at Hampton,
head at home, but I think Steve Clark's way Scotland for a period of time was punching above his weight, but it's now kind of went the opposite in it, where it's like you said, 1 in 15. There's been a couple of results and performances in there. I think performances are big ones as well, because especially you look at the 3 games in the Euros, it wasn't really to that sort of first 10-15 minutes of the Switzerland game, wasn't it? We were sort of put a glove on anyone. The Hungary game sort of just dwindled away for 90 minutes. So I think the performances were kind of disappointing, but listen, it's harsh, some of the criticism he's took, considering he has took you to 2 major tournaments, but you do wish we just took that handbrake off 100%. A wee bit and just had more of a go in certain games.
But they're so disappointing in the Euros. I do think these last 2 have been an improvement, but I still think that we can play more. And even last night, I thought Scotland's best period was actually after Portugal scored. They make it 1-1 and it was 10 minutes. The commentator was a disgrace by the he went.
Is that Sam Matterfest?
It was him.
What's he doing commentating Scotland games?
Aye, but what happened was Portugal get the equaliser. And in that period, they were all sitting in sort of the rain box. But after it was 10 minutes where Scotland came out and played brilliant football for 10 minutes. It was really, really good football. And Matterface says the games went scrappy. So as soon as Twatterface. So as soon as Scotland start playing good football and getting up there and creating chances, Matterface starts calling it scrappy. A lot of shite. Scotland were they were really good. And I think Portugal are going to have long periods of the game where they've got the ball. I get that with the quality of player they've got, but I did think at times when you've got a guy like Billy Gilmore in there who was awesome,
brilliant again, wasn't he?
It was magic, the wee man. He was brilliant, but I think at times the ball's gone to gun, and it's not even a thought. It's just getting launched. And I don't mind when you've got Dykes there. Maybe is that out ball. I think it's a good option to play, but I would maybe go to a centre half and then maybe go and try play into Gilmore at times much more, because he can dictate via anybody. He's that good to be, man. So I definitely think that the big gun, he's just banging it far too long, and I'm not trying to do that. But I watched him in that wee period. I know it was only a short period after that equalising goal Portugal scored, and for 10 minutes they were
But this is when I'm talking about having an identity in football, right? Your identity doesn't need to be the same identity that I've got, where you want to play it for the back all the time. But sure, I'm watching Scotland take goal kicks last night, right? And see if you're going to go direct. Why is your two centre backs dropping to the edge of the 6-yard box?
Right.
You see when we're kicking the ball, there's a massive gap between our centre forward and our centre backs. Surely if we're going to kick the ball, everyone squeezes up the pitch. We'll kick the ball and we condense the game in that area of the pitch.
I watched more of the first game than the second game. I watched more of the Poland game. What I thought Scotland did poor at certain times was they played into the press. So I think especially the two centre halves, if one of the centre halves had loads of time on the ball to maybe find the midfielder, like you're saying, a Gilmore or whatever, they would play it to the other centre half or the fullback who actually had more pressure on them than they did when they were on the ball.
You just need to stand on it.
Just stay on the ball.
Yeah, hold on to the ball.
Let the midfielders rotate or find space to then play forward and progress up the pitch. I think that was something that I thought we struggled with in the first half. But like I said, mate, the penalties, man. Like two poor penalties to give away. That must, for Steve Clarke, that must be frustrating. For however positive a performance is, to give away the penalties in these scenarios. And
us Kane and Ronaldo in this.
By the way, he was excellent when he came on. He was brilliant when he came on.
Wasn't he? What about the boy running on for a picture when the game was going on? John Carver, wasn't it?
I seen him standing at the side,
waiting to run on. Jamie got 2 Scotland caps. They were the dark days, weren't they? We're talking about both under Alex McLeish. First game at Hampden, second game v Peru. How was that, mate? Amazing.
Aye, it's what you dream of. You want to play for Scotland. Do you know what I mean? I feel like it took a bit of time for me to get there. There was times where I thought I maybe could have got called up before and I never. And it probably kept me going throughout my career. You know, you keep wanting to get better to kind of reach that. And you know, making that debut Costa Rica, Hampden. I broke my toe at the time. I was in agony, man.
So you thinking about pulling out?
No, I'm never thinking about Rangers wanting me to pull out.
Sure,
I remember that.
I broke my toe against St Johnstone and I couldn't get my boot on. So we played Celtic the next week and I had injections.
Was it Ibrox, wasn't it? The Celtic game?
Couldn't feel my foot. Like the front part of my foot.
Wow.
People use that as an excuse, say that's why we lost or whatever. And it was rubbish, but I turned up for Scotland and I think the physios in Scotland weren't happy about it. But I was like, this is a chance. I'm playing every week with Rangers. Like, I've waited a long time for this. I'm going. And I came on the last 5 minutes.
Oh, mate.
You see that Scotland team, who was the ones that were real standouts?
Do you know who was one of the best I'd ever seen at training? Shaun Maloney.
Oh, what a player, mate.
Shaun Maloney.
What a player.
See, training me, I was like, I didn't know it was this good. Do you know what I mean? Every time he got the ball, it looked as if he could score. Just so small and strong. And I mean, Paul Caddis was called up at the same time, and he said to me, he's been doing that for years. You'll know.
How many bags of sweeties did he take on Scotland trip?
Me and Cad roomed together. In fact, I texted me on their story. Do you remember prank calling me?
Mate, I got you a fucking belter, didn't I?
He pretended
prank called him?
Mate, I prank called it.
He pretended he was Alex Ray.
For MK Dons. When he was at Motherwell, he was flying.
The other day, I was thinking,
I was like, you need to go to Craig Brown and ask, tell him that you want to leave.
So who were you?
Me and Kaz were in the room.
Right, okay.
So they phoned twice. The first time he phoned, he was like, hi, this is like Alex Ray. I'm doing MK Dons. What do you think about coming down here? We really want you. But then something happened. He said something to me, but I was like, oh, this must be a prank call. So I put it down and they never phoned back. But then I go away with Scotland, the 21s, and for whatever reason I said to Cad, I got a prank call the other day. I think it was Alex Ray, and he was like, oh, I've heard he does that. I've heard he phones people and you get to speak to him. So I'm thinking, maybe it was him. Maybe I've just hung up on him. Sure enough, like 3 days later, I don't know why.
Cad's came back and told me, but he's not sure now about if that was Alex Ray or not. So I've done him again.
He's phoned me, and he's like, and I've answered the phone. Oh, sorry, I hung up the phone on you the last time. So then he goes on, and then I think he started talking about, "I bring some goalie gloves down, and that maybe we can try you in goals and stuff as well." And I was like, and then it kind of clicked, and he was good sport, and he hung the phone up. I found it.
That's right, mate.
You must just sit there and prank call people.
He used to do prank calls for fucking us. How many sweeties did he take on the Scotland trip?
Sweeties and pot noodles. Mate, he had a bag full of pot noodles. He didn't eat any of the food.
He hated me. Like the food could be any, mate. He would not eat it, man. Go up the room and have a pot noodle, wouldn't he?
I mean, I'm not a good eater on that, but like, if it was any sort of flavour on the food or that, he was pot noodle.
He'd be the only man in the world, mate, that would eat a pot noodle before his Scotland day. Like he would do that. He'd eat a pot noodle before playing for Scotland.
You said it was good though as well, didn't you?
Oh, mate, caviar, mate. See, if he properly looked after his cell cards, I think he could have went.
But he was fit. Wait, he was fit, mate, wasn't he?
He was our captain.
Oh, was he not?
The captain.
Was he captain at 21s?
See, like Slaney was saying about who was impressive in the Scotland game, was there any for the 2 games, the Costa Rica and the Mexico game, like players wise for them that you thought, he's a joke?
Well, no, that one was Costa Rica, Hungary, so the first one, and then in the summer it was Peru and Mexico.
Was that the
They
Aztec?
2 caps,
That was Azteca.
No,
that was the 2 games. I never played the second.
No,
but
yeah.
started
Was it
the Peru
Aztec Stadium?
Was it?
That's that big famous stadium, isn't it?
Aye, well, I remember that. It was like, obviously I never played in that game, but we weren't allowed, so we trained in Peru for the week. It was a nightmare getting to Peru. Like, for whatever reason, they couldn't get everyone on the same flight. So we all had to fly down in London, and then they told us this. So half the squad flew from London straight to Lima, and half the squad had to fly to Houston in America. And then take Houston down there.
You're definitely on the Houston
And I
flight.
knew I'm going to be on that Houston flight.
Peter Houston flight.
And I hate flying. I really hate it. So I remember being on that flight, landing in Houston, and the pilot comes on and he's like, there's a thunderstorm around the airport at Houston. Like, we're going to have to go through it. It might get a little bit rough. And as soon as the captain says that, I'm all out of the gaff. I'm writing out the Biesta form, sitting next to the Celtic Masseur.
Greedy? Greedy?
No.
Verdi.
It may have been Verdi. I'm sitting writing this form, and then all of a sudden the captain's on, cabin crew, please take your seats. And please take your seats. The plane fell out of the sky. So I've got this pen, I've thrown it, I've looked up, the air hostess is holding onto the toilet door, holding onto the trolley. And I'm thinking, this is it. And I'm thinking, if only I was on that one flight to Lima, I was like, I'd still be alive. But no, we made it. And then getting there, it was just, we had to train in Peru for the week because they didn't want the altitude sickness from us going straight to Mexico and training there. So we literally flew into Mexico City. We went straight to the stadium just to see it, parked the bus, walked through the bus to the pitch, and everyone was gubbed, man. Everyone was breathing. It was like,
was that not the interview that boy Graham Jones got slaughtered for when he was talking about the altitude? And
it might have been.
I think it was. Remember? We're over here in Peru, so we're going to. Is that what it?
That's right.
What's that, man?
You could definitely tell the difference.
How does it at Real Madrid?
You could definitely tell the difference. Oh, I didn't play in the game. I was a sub, but it was the first game. It was the last game before going to the World Cup. So we're just doing a warm up at half time, and then all these dancers and that come like round about us and stuff. We had to move out the road. It was like a carnival. But I think they appreciated the fact that we came over for the game, both countries, because Peru were really good to us in that as well.
Did you hear Alex McLeish, sorry, doing that McGinn doing that arse thing? That was that game.
That was that game, aye.
Do you remember it?
You kind of need to stop doing that arse thing. I think I don't know the video. Charlie was there.
Charlie did it, brilliant. What were you saying, sorry?
How was Big Ick?
He was good. It was really good for me, and obviously take me in, gave me my debut, all that kind of thing. It was a big thing. And even after that, when I got my injury and stuff, he made sure to give me a phone call and stuff.
Love that.
You know, like you don't have to do that anymore,
hangs
so it means a lot. Aye.
We hangs a hand.
Do you know that happened to Scotland there?
Yeah.
Scotland flew to a base, and it was an old army base.
Your dad sorted it, didn't he?
He was the one waiting on them. Mate, do you know that? 2 years away from Lisbon. I don't know why it was. Steve Carter got asked about it, and he was a wee bit. I don't know why they never flew straight to Lisbon and the players then had to drive a 3 hour into Lisbon. I don't know what we
You're regretting telling that now, aren't you?
Wish I never started it. Gone nowhere from start to finish.
Thanks very much for that, mate. Be travel agent over there,
First choice.
Right, we're on to Murph's career, lads. Obviously came through as a youth at Motherwell, so age difference here?
I'm 91, born 91.
89.
But he was always the one when we were just
Getting pushed up.
He was the one that coaches were always saying, this is who you want
So
to
did you
look
see
at.
him as a threat? Because you both wing it, or were you a striker when you were younger, weren't you?
I was a striker. I'd never played in midfield until about 19, till Craig Brown really came in. So,
Was it Malpass?
Were you in the first team when you get first called up to the first team?
well, I'd been in the first team when you came away pre-season when you were maybe 16. We went to Austria. The earthquake.
Remember the earthquake? Told that the other day and he wasn't. That was the one somebody done a shite in Boab Malcolm's room when everybody left.
That was another one. I got a text for he mentioned it wasn't me. But the earthquake, the whole hotel's shaking. It's like maybe you went to bed early. It was about 10 o'clock.
Did you? Of course he went to his bed early, man.
Professional way to talk.
It was about 10 o'clock. I think we all had to be back in our rooms for fucking 9:30 or something like that. So at 10 o'clock, everyone's just kind of getting to bed. The room starts shaking. I'm looking over him. He's like that, sleeping.
I'm
so I go out in the hall.
snoring.
Did you room each other?
Me,
We were in the room.
it was about 4 days, wasn't there?
So we go out in the hall when everyone's out, like, what's going on here?
Yeah,
Go back in, he's still sleeping. Never even woke up. Only found out in the morning. Say bye. It was
No,
He was sleeping the full time.
no,
mate.
but eventually, mate, because it was a real earthquake, wasn't it?
a proper earthquake.
Mate, the full wing was fucking trembling.
Who was it, Mark McGhee?
Aye.
That was Mark McGhee. And do you remember that had been your first game, Cluj? Remember we played them?
That's right.
And I think you came on. The big thing over there was, like, if you make a mistake, 3 press-ups.
Who done that, Mark McGhee?
Aye. Like, just for, like, throughout training and that.
Right, if you gave the ball, you had to do 3 press ups.
3 press-ups. Like, if it stupidly gave the ball away, he would shout, press-ups. You had to do 3 press-ups. He comes on in the game, gives the ball away. What does he do? Three press-ups.
On the pitch?
Mark McGhee's pissing himself. And I'm like, oh, Slaney, just run back. He's gave the ball away to the edge of the box. Stopped and done 3 press-ups. But he was good like that, Mark. He was up for a laugh and that, wasn't he?
Mate, we were saying the other day though, mate, it's weird though. His football was brilliant, wasn't it?
Aye,
Mickey?
they were flying on the, like, they played 4-3.
Mate, proper played.
And he was really big. We'd done loads of drills on, like, short passes and, like, setting it properly and stuff like that.
Mate, fire.
That Mark McGhee Motherwell team was third though, no?
Before we finished third,
Another guy.
Who was good players in that? Who was the best players in that?
Stevie Hughes was brilliant.
Stephen Hughes,
Aye.
what a player, mate.
What
He
a
was
football player.
He could run like fuck, couldn't he? That's really fit.
He would be like everywhere, but like good on the ball. And
No, but good on the ball as well.
we had a front 3
Ross
of
McCormack in that team.
Ross McCormack, David Clarkson, Chris Porter were the front 3 at the time that were playing every week. And they scored a barrel of the goals. We finished third. Done well.
Well, let's just talk about your debut, mate. How does that come about? So this is under Malpass?
This was Malpass, but the kind of what used to happen was when I first went in full time, we had a good 19s team. So it was me, Cammy Murray, and Ross Forbes were the younger ones. But Ross Forbes was kind of up with the 19s, so it would be me and Cammy would be left behind when they would go and play on a Friday. So we got to train with the first team. Got to train with the first team every Friday from 15 onwards. And Terry Butcher really liked me for that. So just him pulling me sometimes and saying, "Keep going, you're doing really well." Pull me in for a chat. Do you know the old one, like, is your dad tall? Is your mum tall? I'm like, 6'5", man, he's massive.
He's buzzing, mate. I love big tall boys.
Describing him as William Wallace, but he was like, my dad's just a regular sized guy. But, you know, just having someone that kind of believed in you and you knew he was the first team manager. So obviously Terry Butcher leaves, Morris Malpass comes in. And I'm doing well for the 19s and all that kind of thing. And then we played St Mirren on the Friday with the 19s. And it gets to about 60 minutes and I get hooked half. And you know that if you get hooked half, and I'm walking around, Chris McCart says you were the first team tomorrow. So
what a feeling.
I went on, that was the first time.
That could be the best feeling in football, when you're that age. You were the first
just
team
at that time, just day moments and that. So
But you had no inkling, like, you were the first team, but you don't know if you're playing squad.
No, nothing. That was my first time on the bench as well. Like, usually you get kind of a couple of times on the bench, get used to it, whatever. First time on the bench. And I remember it being Derek Riordan scored, it was 1-0 Celtic. And I came on the last 10 minutes.
It was 1-0?
It was 1-0, so it wasn't as if it was 3-0 or whatever, and I get chucked on for the sake of it.
And does he just shout at you warming up? He just shouts you down?
Shouts me down.
Did he tell you go and warm up, you're going on, or is it just go and warm up?
Not just, 3 warm up or whatever, and then he shouts you down and you're like,
Well, you done well.
oh my God.
At Celtic Park, are we talking here?
Done well.
Wow.
And then another one for that. I had that, and you're obviously at the high. I got crashed into my car on the way home, spent the night in hospital. First night, aye. Just sitting at the back of a queue of traffic. Couldn't believe it. I'm sitting at the back of queue traffic going down, like Kingston Bridge, if you're coming from kind of Parkhead way, the slip road to go down to Anderson. And I'm sitting at the back of queue traffic still, handbrake on, I've got a Peugeot 206, bought it out of the car auction. There's no the best car in the world. I'm sitting there and I see this black Fiat Punto coming flying down like the lane behind me, and I'm thinking, he can't see the queue here. And he didn't. Straight in the back of me, windies off my.
His dad used to drive a Fiat Punto. That's because you got picked ahead of him in the first team. His dad tried to see that first team. I'm just reading the names, like guys like Scott McDonald, Richie Foran. That must have been a tough first team to go into because they two could be money bastards.
Oh, they were. You used to be scared. You used to be scared to go in because the boot room was in the first team change room, and it was at the time where you had to go in, polish and shine. Shine them every morning. So you're just walking through thinking, nobody saying to me, nobody saying. You keep doing, you get through it.
Whose boots did you do?
I was Sean Fagan's and Mark Fitzpatrick's boots.
Oh, bad ones.
No, that's good ones.
You're never getting a game, mate. Your boots are never dirty.
No, Fitzy was a hero, mate.
Fitzy's a good guy.
Mate, but see the day, and we talk about it now, they're going, how good were they days? You're first and doing all the jobs. I think that actually, isn't it, mate?
We used to say the youth team days were the best days of your life. You're away your mates, you're playing football every day. You've not really got any. There is pressure, but at the time you're not realising it. You're just playing, trying to get to that first team level.
Amazing, mate.
Just some of the best stories, some of the best times, just for that change.
Mate, see if you could have got paid a first team wage to play in the youth team for the rest of your days, mate, it'd be the best job in the world.
What was some of your worst jobs you done at Motherwell? Well, some of the jobs.
The boys. We used to do the boys.
Who's boys? Terry Butcher.
Mate, but remember the boys if you didn't get it.
If you didn't get it right.
Who fucking pumped these up? You're like,
launched.
Because you had the wee gauge, remember? And some mornings you would do, I'm not going to use the gauge, I'll just go.
Was it 11.5 PSI, 12.5 PSI? Used to have to make it.
Oh my God.
And then if the boards were dirty as well, that was one. Used to be standing in the shower with a wet towel.
Mate, Martin O'Neill was obsessed with boys. So see somebody for the first team come like be aid, and I was like, boys, who's done the boys? Martin O'Neill going off, he's not about who done the boys today. Like, oh no,
that's terrifying.
Did you ever do the stands? No.
We done it.
We done the stands.
I thought that was the worst.
Sweep the stands.
That was
went for a Saturday or a Monday when it was a fucking mess, mate.
I was the tunnel. The tunnle was my biggest one. But even on a match day, so like you said, I was quite young getting in. So that the end of that season, I was in the first team squad a few times. And it didn't get you your jobs. If you were in the first 2 years of IT, you were doing your jobs. So the game's finished, I'm in my suit, I'm rolling my suit up and putting my flippies on, and I'm with wet towel out in the tunnel.
That's right.
While the other team's walking out and that, and I'm brushing it away.
And you've just played.
But it kept
you
you grounded. Chris McCart, and he was big for that, and he was great for us. Like in terms of if you didn't do your job properly off the park, you're not going to do them right on the park. So we had to make sure there was a
massive on discipline, wasn't it? It was brilliant.
The resis, we used to get a 10 or win bonus for the resis.
Did you?
And it was massive. You're thinking,
I did.
You win 4 resi games a month, an extra 40 quid. We're getting paid 100 quid a week.
Did you get paid for winning the resis?
No.
We get a win bonus.
The boots were genuinely, see if I see myself doing the boots, that was the worst. I was terrified.
Oh, the boots were terrible.
Because some people would genuinely be bastards about it, like if they weren't, they shine properly.
Whose were you? Were you on Big Craigsy's boots or something like that?
No, we never done fucked in toes. You'd be there all day trying to cut on toes. Fuck that. I can't remember. I'd done whose boots did I do? And they sorted me right out. I can't remember.
You know the manager's boots, did you not tell me?
Oh, I once.
Was it Puma Kings, the old PKs?
The Puma Kings. So I'd done Dingus, Melee and Leachy. And he had to go in and pick the boots up. So I'd done the coaches, but they weren't as bad, but it was the players who wanted them polished, shined, and see if you hadn't done it. Oh my.
Paul Lambert, mate. Couldn't see, he had copas. You were not to touch the white bit, man. Fucking terrifying.
Good one to have.
See that shout as well, who's done these boots, man? You're like, oh no, it's the worst.
Aye.
What was your Rangers fan growing up? Boab Malcolm was there. How was he with you?
Yeah, he was brilliant. Again, we had Stephen Hughes, Graham Smith, Buzz was.
That's right, Buzz.
So we all had all them in. But speaking of that Boab Malcolm story about the Austria, somebody doing the toilet, and he said, were you in the change room when Boab Malcolm opened? He got some fan mail. He opened the fan mail. I think it was a letter or whatever. Somebody'd wiped their arse and sent him it.
Again, his dad.
He pulled it out and it was like toilet paper, and somebody'd wiped their arse and sent him it. But he gets stuff like that all the time. He got like before like social media and that. He was getting abused.
But Bob was like, fucking hell.
That's fucking disgusting, man.
But he was
a legend, Bob.
He was one of the first kind of players that I had played with that had not kicked. He made it big time. He had a Bentley.
That's right.
Did Bob drive into
Do you know what Bob?
Aye.
But he was banned for driving.
Do you know what Bob
So
had,
Reynolds used to pick him up and drive
He
him.
had unbelievable technique.
Technique, mate, I was just saying.
Oh, mate, he pinging a ball.
Unbelievable technique.
Incredible at pinging it about.
He would zing it about, wouldn't he?
Any of them take you under the wing? Was there anyone that was particularly good with you? Somebody in your position or?
Stephen Hughes and Graham Smith were the two, like, they kind of looked. I remember making my debut and Graham Smith came up to me and, like, do you get a win bonus or do you get an appearance fee? Like, because he knew I was just on a YT contract. And I was like, I don't know. I didn't really care, to be honest. But it was like, I'll make sure you get one and stuff like that. Do you know, like, little things like that. And then even my first goal was Hibs. Ross McCormack was the penalty taker. So we win the penalty. Ross McCormack gets the ball, throws me it. And I'm like, oh no, obviously I want to score.
I know,
I had to throw it back.
I was going to say, I couldn't even have thrown it back. You'd have looked like a shithouse, but took a penalty.
So he never even really gave you the option, mate, just says go and take it.
Do you want it? And kind of...
What was your score at the time?
We won 1-0.
Oh, so he shot it then? He's like, fuck that.
Nah, that's brilliant for him. I think that's brilliant for him.
So, like, I really appreciate stuff like that. So
that team were brilliant though, mate, weren't they? I think they were brilliant with younger players coming in.
And like, but they were all older. Do you know how you get teams now and there's a lot of younger players?
Aye.
It was kind of, at some points it was literally just me. Do you know what I mean? And then everyone was over 23 or whatever.
Did you not play in a Motherwell Legends game recently?
Recently in the, when you say Legends game, but it was for the... You get that anyway, no?
The phone call now.
The Welsh Society.
Alan Burrows played with fingers.
You could have came for the entertainment.
I can't believe I've not been called into that.
Me Stuart McCall not even get the phone call.
Do you know what Slaney was the best at? No football wise. You know how when you get a young boy coming up to the first team and they go and you've got to sing or you've got to do something. Any time, at any point, Mark McGhee would shout, Slaney, song. He'd jump up in the chair and start singing Frank Sinatra every time.
He's it in, let's hear it.
No, that was back with the days. It was so weird though, because
what Frank Sinatra song?
What was you used to do a couple of them?
I don't know if it was Frank Sinatra. What was the one Tommy Burns always sang?
Oh, the shack.
That one, Matt the Knife, that was my classic. And John Kennedy gave me £100 for doing it in front of all the boys. Came into chat my door in the hotel room, gave me £100. But it was so weird because then I was a proper character, like wild, and I'm in the first team signing in front of them all. And then when I went to Celtic, when I first got my injury, he completely went and was scared to speak to him. It's mad how that changed, wasn't it?
And Jim Gannon was good for you as well. When
Jim
Gannon immediately binned off everyone over the age of 25.
I remember that, mate. Do you remember that Jim Gannon came in and he completely fucked all the older players off? And it was like a youth team that was playing, wasn't it?
There was boys playing that shouldn't have been there.
Names.
There was the old shout. There was the old shout that he was getting a percentage of the transfer if they get moved and stuff like that. Because everyone was like, this boy's coming up. He's hardly played for like the 19s and that, but he's like playing with our first team here.
Everybody's
talk us through when Jim Gannon first gets appointed. Like, who was the manager before him?
Mark McGhee.
So Mark McGhee leaves,
went
right?
to Aberdeen.
And Jim Gannon's a Stockport manager at the time, right? With that?
Yeah.
Aye. And he done well. Did they win the play-up?
There's so many stories you can tell.
Right, tell us then.
Hey, we used to watch videos of Stockport.
Aye.
Every day. Every day.
Mate, remember that?
We had like 45-minute video sessions every day.
Saying this was how my team...
This is how I want my team to play. It was the playoff. They won the playoff final, and it was like the playoff final. But then we'd watch. There was so many scenes. We'd watch Milan. Do you remember the Milan video we watched? And it was like he called it the Milan rotation. It was false fullback, and it was like Pirlo. So in terms of like coaching and all that kind of stuff, he was way ahead of the game. But he was like, but he'd be like, look at Kaka there. I mean, what's Kaka doing there? We were watching the video, like, slaughter. What is he talking about?
But then Shaun Stockport, like, look at him, unreal.
So, I remember a few of the boys really didn't like him. And he kind of split the change, because obviously all the young ones
turned on the
loved
senior
him.
players though.
Would he cane the senior players?
It was
just gave them no respect whatsoever.
Like completely binned them off. Like,
but like senior players that had been playing...
People that I'd looked at was Stephen Craigan, Keith Lasley, Stevie Hamill.
To be fair, he's probably right to...
But it just totally...
What was his first meeting? Can you remember his first day, like what he said to you?
He used to always refer himself as third person, didn't he?
Aye.
He loved that, always talking about himself.
He used to shout, "Come on, Jim," before
Come on, Jim.
back at the tunnel, innit?
All the time. He just loved himself.
He never spoke to Sky one day because he wouldn't fix his dish, innit?
He what?
They wouldn't fix his Sky box and stuff. He was like, I'm not going for an interview with him. Still need my dish.
That's what he said.
He did stuff like that.
Would he tell you that I'm not speaking to Sky because the dishes?
He mentioned it, but it had been going on a while because it was. I'm sure it was before he came or off.
They didn't get his dish sorted.
Is that a legend, this guy?
No, he was a legend in that way, Muff, wasn't he? Some of his shouts and that in the way was a legend that way.
Like I get, like I said, ahead of the game in terms of like teams couldn't get the ball off us and stuff like that. But like how he kind of was man management wise, kind of where's his downfall. But
was there no story about on the bus after a game once? Did you chuck somebody off the bus? Was that Motherwell?
no, that was
Jeff Horsfield, was it? Or was it Motherwell?
no, that was another one I was going to say. But he did. He I think he's offered him a square go and he like chucked him off.
Who offered?
But no, he got off the bus. That's what it was.
So who are you playing?
No, this is the story you were talking about, Horsfield or something
Horsfield
like
and him
that.
at a
Square
garage.
go with him on the bus and he just left the bus.
So Jeff Horsfield offered Jim Gannon a square go.
And
Jim Gannon just fucked up.
Fucked off the bus.
And actually, the bus drove away. Actually, the bus just drove away, left him.
Fuck that.
No, the other one we had was he was running back for training
Used to
for
run back for
whatever
Dale
reason.
Park.
Did he?
So Giles Coke was like,
I
give me
played
a
the coke at Sunderland.
yeah, he was a good guy. He was like, he was the water. So he got the bottle of water and he flung it at him as he's driving.
What, Giles Coke flung water over the manager when he was what?
You're down back for training, and he's
So-
running back. So his assistant, Pete, came into the dressing room right after it and went, we need names right now.
Who
And
done it?
Cokie had to go in and say, look, after it was me, he said he was raging that it was the one of his boys. He's like, "Oh, I thought it was
What
one
about
of
the
them."
worst you seen him like after a game? Would he go off his nut in the dressing room? Or what was a team? And what was a team talk like as well? I love this guy.
No, he would just talk, wouldn't he? He wouldn't really shout, but he would be dead
to himself, fuck
condescending and
himself.
that.
He loved
I remember getting a
himself.
new car, and during the week he was like, I love your new car, great, like really nice new car. You get to the game, half time, and your fancy new car. Do you know? And like, you just said you liked it, did you? Like stuff like that, but
He was never going to last, though.
Were you his favourite genuinely?
he would have adopted Slaney.
Why do you think you liked him so much?
I don't
I
know,
went
you're
flying,
right.
see,
You
to be fair.
were flying at that.
Flying
Was
at
your
that point.
period, wasn't it?
Oh,
Have you
it
ever
was a
told them about
joke.
your goal? Your first goal?
I had
I had a Farmateri.
Cut inside, then turned into Loa when I was chasing him.
That
Big.
was because Mark McGhee and Leachy were in. I'd done the Robbie Keane celebration to him and I felt my head.
Because he said you were the next Robbie Keane.
That's
didn't he,
in
Mark
it.
McGhee?
Aye,
Was,
that in the paper.
was the experienced boys still there when Jim Gannon got the sack?
Aye, they just like,
But they
like
were-
were training with like the youth team and that, I think. At the time.
So see when he tell him the muffin when he gets the sack in the morning.
So we're in the car. I don't know if you were in the car. We're in the car on the motorway, and Steve McGarry like pulls up alongside us, and you look up, and he's gone. You can see him mouthing it. He's away. He's away. So and then he speeds off and he gets it in, and by the time we get in, I'm talking. The music's blaring. People are banging the walls. All the older players are all hugging each other. It's like something you've never seen before about a manager getting sacked.
Mate,
You feel bad
wild.
for him. Obviously,
It was
somebody's
like a
lost
it was
their
like a full
job.
party 9 o'clock.
Slaney was crying in the corner.
I remember just seen it and just walked away. Seen the party, everybody bouncing, I just walked over.
Devastated. Did I
Gutted.
tell you the time when the Canio got sacked? Have I told you this?
So how's this with the
You
boys?
must have been devastated.
Oh, I was devastated, but the boys are buzzing. I was buzzing a wee bit because you're going back to fucking an easy life. So we went out for like 2 days, so we get in the next day, and our chief exec's like that. We're all hanging about the office, and the chief exec's like, lads, come and watch this. The night he got sacked, he breaks into the ground. I've told you this. Breaks into the ground, right? There's a camera right on the door when you walk into Swindon. Obviously, looks right onto the door. But the Canio breaks in. He must have had a key that he shouldn't have had. Gets in, right? Goes into his office, lifts everything, mate. Takes the laptop, all sorts, right? Coming back out, looks up at the camera and goes like that. And walks out ahead of the camera. The chief exec's like, come and watch this.
Did Canio, did any of you speak to him after it? And
No, never.
Did
heard
he
from him
message
again,
anybody?
No, never heard from him. Just watched that CCTV footage. Doing that, he was going to kill him. Fucking.
Have you ever spoke to him since?
He done the hydro on that.
Oh, did he come? Did he come?
It is mad to when a manager gets sacked. Some boys are absolutely buzzing in it, and some are.
I've never seen a reaction like that though.
Nah, that sounds like
And we
I've never seen
had
before.
the Christmas do coming up a couple of weeks later.
And they dressed
and
last.
shall we go fancy dress? And Keith Lasley and Steve McGarry dress up as the manager and the assistant.
Assistant. Amazing.
He even put his hair in a wee point like he did, and he like done all the wee fucking jumps and that. It was,
But at first, mate, we were popping it. We remember we played Bucharest
were,
in the
aye.
Europa League.
yeah, we were flying it.
Just out Bucharest, and I'm
pre-season.
just popping it round about them.
Amazing.
We done well.
And he never went on to anything else after that, did he?
No, I think he actually went back to Stockport.
Did he, right? And then fucked it there.
Loved
uh-huh.
it, bastards, didn't he?
And then Craig Brown comes in. Is that right?
Aye.
How would you say?
So I just left. I think I just
You left that
I left
January,
it.
didn't you?
I left that January.
Abandoned the club in their time of need.
I left. No. Craig Brown came on with Archie Knox, who I must say, I've got the utmost respect for Archie Knox.
Terrifying.
I thought he was just it's
Brilliant to her, but terrifying.
Oh, he was brilliant. I really liked that.
But they done really well, didn't they? They got everybody the colour again, didn't
Two
they? I think
completely different
Character.
Archie Knox looked as if he was going to kill you and he was shouting at you, and Craig Brown would be like arm around the shoulder. And the two of them were good to each other. Like Archie Knox used to take the piss, whatever. I just remember one time Craig Brown got his foot caught in the net when he was walking. Well, you know, we used to pit the goal. We used to have to pit the goals up, you know, the old school, like tie them and all that. So Craig Brown gets his foot caught in the net and he falls there. That way, like a turtle falls on his back. And he was on his back and he couldn't get up. But Archie's like standing near him, just pissing himself. Like, wouldn't let him up for about 30 seconds and then eventually picked him up. But nah, they were great.
Do you ever hear Archie Knox?
No. Fucking hell.
No, but he done
Fucking
like
90s,
he done like Scotland youth teams and that.
Aye.
He's been
He was a Scotland youth team coach,
Clubs, I was terrified of Archie Knox, mate.
He worked with Sir Alex, didn't he?
Was his
Aye,
first
Man
assistant at Man United?
That's
Got
right.
some great stories about Gattuso and Gascoigne and that. He's brilliant, man. Great guy.
Well, we had one when he was at, we were at Motherwell, obviously, and we were playing Rangers at Ibrox. And we take the lead first half. I kind of go down the left, cross it. Nick Blackman scores a header. And we come in at half time and you can already hear him coming down. I've seen it before. Teams shit themselves here. It's not going to be effing us. It's not going to be us. It's not going to be you. It's not going to be you. It's not going to be you. And he's like gone mental. 10 minutes in the second half, we're 4-1 down. 4-1 down. And everyone's just thinking, oh, what is he going to do at the end here? And we Archie, I swear he used to pour a cup of coffee so he could throw it.
And he fling cup of coffee.
So he'd come in and he was relatively calm to start with. And then he just goes mental, like coffee. I remember he threw a tub of Vicks at Tom Haley one time and it smashed all the wall, but all the Vicks and that went all Tom's face, sitting running away. But then you had him doing that and Craig Brown, like,
Then unlucky.
just like if a woman walked past, she'd be nudging you and that stuff. Like,
You've done really well, didn't you?
we did. Like he was the kind of first one that kind of played me midfield as well. So you know that way you start 4-4-2. I'm up front. You just hang about the left a wee bit. You just come back a wee bit and you kind of move to that position that I've always been. But in terms of like man managing and stuff, he was up there.
It was when sort of Stuart McCall came in at Motherwell. That's when you had your best period, wasn't it? You were flying under him.
So we had the year before I left was really big, and then that was the year we got to cup final, and kind of that was supposed to be the summer that I thought go down south or whatever and all that.
MK Dons.
MK Dons phoned.
Did you used to go to Megabar?
No, I never actually went to it, but some of the boys that lived
Go
in
to
Motherwell.
Motherwell, you never went to Megabar?
No.
The Glasgow boys didn't really go there.
Silver, wasn't it?
Silver.
Silver.
And then Tunnel as well.
Tunnel was brilliant.
DJ Shabs.
Michael Higdon comes in. He was brilliant for Motherwell, wasn't he?
Higgy.
Character. He got, what was it? Were you there when he got lifted?
No, I'd left that January. It was a January, but at the end of the season, got player of the year that year
right.
without running further than a 10-yard radius.
Was he a lazy bastard?
And not so much that, but we had me, Henrik Orjama, Chris Humphrey, who we could all run.
I mean, how quick was
We all
Humphrey?
He just stood in the middle and put the ball in the net.
Had some season, didn't he, Higdon, that year?
Aye.
Chris Humphrey was...
Oh, mate, he
Was it Michael Higdon that I always remember this goal for Motherwell and it was like a left-footed
No.
volley for outside the
That was
box.
Jim Hamilton.
Djokovic.
Jim Hamilton.
No, Jim Hamilton.
Jim Hamilton scored on as well. I
Was it
remember
against
you-
Celtic?
That
Far apart?
get voted like goal of the decade or something
Mate,
like that.
that is... I
course you remember that
always
one.
remember that.
Remember Djokovic v Hibs?
That was a great goal. Was that not 4 each?
Did you play in that
I
game?
played in that game, I played
Oh,
about
mate.
Tell me, you
67
must have
minutes.
scored
No,
fucking
never.
6 goals.
I had a beast, 67 minutes. Yeah.
Did you have a shocker, did you, huh? How was Faddy at Motherwell? He came back, didn't he?
He signed again that January that I was here, but he was in training for a few months. And it was good just to see, like, he'd kind of made it to where I
You
wanted to make it to, do you know what I mean? It was good to just watch him every day, just effortlessly, like, zinging the ball about.
Oh, we'll cut that out, won't we?
Mate, every young player, Murph, when every young player come through Motherwell were always like, can he be the next Faddy?
Faddy, that was
you
the
always
thing,
get
wasn't it?
labelled with
Aye,
that.
always.
But it's cool now when you see in the list kind of the players that kind of made it through and your name's on there and stuff. So it's pretty cool.
See how Faddy like made it, like, because they were good players, Scott McDonald guys. That was Faddy better than them? Could you tell that Faddy was a better player than like Scott McDonald?
Only from watching him, he left, so we miss each other. I go full time the year he leaves,
Right.
and he comes back the year I leave. So we never actually played with each other, but we used to go to games and stuff. Remember the Celtic and Rangers games were the one. You know, it was very rarely you get a young player. They're good all the rest of the games, but Celtic Rangers games, they're not as good. He was just as good in the games, and I kind of think that's why he went to Everton.
Yeah.
Every like Motherwell fan that you come across now, even like going like for everyone's Faddy's a hero.
Oh, hero.
He's like God to them. Aye.
Yeah, I could imagine. Sorry, you go.
No, I was just saying quite rightly. Like, to see a young boy like move for 1.5 million or whatever it was at the time, it's a lot of money, aye.
Mate, I could imagine it must have been so hard for you to leave Motherwell because of the connection you had there.
It was difficult, and more so for the fact that I'm a homeboy. I love being in Glasgow, do you know what I mean? So we really waited till the last minute to go down to Sheffield. But in terms of cities and stuff like that, it was very much like Glasgow with the two teams, working class cities, so it was perfect.
I was just reading there, so when you left in January 2013, how old were you at this point?
Was I 23, 24?
You had 11 goals in the first half of the season before you left.
Playing fair wide left.
Playing for wide left.
Yeah.
Some return that.
So it comes into the thing that I was a striker growing up. I always
remember just
goals,
a striker as a kid.
It was always goals meant the most important.
I think he played a couple of years up, but I just remember him being about
You scud them?
Oh, Jesus, God.
Your Celtic team was brilliant though. I remember playing a couple of times.
Were they, Mark Fye?
Mark Miller and you in the middle, Big Sheridan, Kevin Cawley, all these kind of players.
They were good players. I never played in that team, but I wouldn't have played with their players. But Sheffield United, but any other options? Rangers?
No. But I know somebody mentioned it was in. Somebody said it was in the papers and all that kind of stuff. But my agent said there was nothing to it. And Sheffield United came in started December, so we'd kind of already agreed it. So I go down and do the medical on like the 30th of December, something like that. So it was kind of already done. And I played the last game for Motherwell on 2nd. I think it was part.
I guess Celtic again, Celtic Park.
Aye. And you know what annoys me about that game? We played the week before and I scored a double, and we get a penalty, and I take a penalty and I miss it. So that was for the hat trick.
Oh, you missed a penalty at Celtic Park for the hat trick?
No. The week before.
Right.
So at Celtic Park, it's 0-0, 80 minutes, we get a penalty, and Tom Haley is like, "Can I hit it?" And I've just missed the week before, and I was like, "Aye." So he hits it and misses, and then they go up the park score, and we lost 1-0. I was thinking that was just a perfect way for me to finish.
Mate.
Like I was made captain for the day.
His dad's leathering him when he gets home after that, innit?
Tom,
his dad had been raging, man.
Aye, it was brilliant for me and for young boys. I kind of say to them now, people sometimes I think they go down too early, down south. Like I think I played 200 games, scored 50 goals or whatever. So I'm going down to like first team level. You get a lot of boys now that go down to like 18s, and you never really see them again.
Seen a hell of a lot of them now doing that.
So there's two ways to do it, and that way certainly worked for me.
Who was your debut for Sheffield United against the FA Cup? Was it saying 3 days later after the game?
3 days later, I drove down straight for the game. So game finished, I drove straight down, straight in training the next day. We played Oxford. We won. I think we won 3-0.
You started?
Started, aye.
Did you?
Who's the manager?
It was Danny Wilson at the time.
Oh, mate, my manager. So when did you
Here we go.
He tried to sign me at Barnsley.
Did you? A great guy, mate.
But he only lasted a couple of months.
You got him a sack, yeah. Fucking.
I know, I was going to say, I've been through loads of managers. But
what was Sheffield United in? League One?
League One. But that was the first year they were down. So I was supposed to go to the summer before they lost on penalties. Remember the goalie missed?
Who was that?
Steve Simonson.
Against Huddersfield, wasn't it? That's right, I remember watching
So it was kind of all set up to do it the summer before, and then when they never went up, they said they never had the money for it. So that's how it had to wait till the January.
Mate, how good you felt my senses.
Aye.
You heard this when Sheffield United kick off?
For anthems. Get yourself down your Sheffield United big game.
You fill up my senses.
Sheffield derby for
the vlogs. The Josh Windass.
Can that happen this season?
I don't know.
Both in Championship. Be great, that'd be a good one, mate.
Oh, wow.
See, the first time you play at Bramall, did you play at Bramall Inn?
Mm-hmm.
You win the play that, mate. You're actually like that for 5 minutes just taking in. It's fucking amazing.
See, to be fair, Sheffield Wednesday's brilliant to play it as well. Both of them.
Is it Andy?
You know, sometimes
really
you think about down south, maybe the atmosphere's not as good and they don't care as much of football. In Sheffield,
they do.
Both of them are like Rangers, Celtic, Sheffield Wednesday, Sheffield United.
We're going a bit off track here, but did you play in any derbies within the same region?
No.
Oh, it's a gutter.
So we got them in the FA Cup, but they still had to play the replay, and they lost. They lost the replay. Aye, Charlton, they lost it.
Got relegated at Hillsborough.
Did you?
Sheffield Wednesday.
They beat us in the last day of the season at Middlesbrough to stay up. It was bouncing. They went 2-0 up inside about 10 minutes. The place was rocking.
A great place to play football.
How were the players in that when you go there, Sheffield United team?
When I first got there, it was a lot of older players. You know, like people like Dave Kitson.
Oh,
like
he's the secret football player.
Apparently,
is it him?
That's him, mate.
You'd love to get him on.
Apparently, so people like him, Danny Higginbottom, Richard Cresswell, all these kind of older players. But then you had a couple of Scottish Big Kev was there. Ryan Flynn.
We tried to sign Flynn in the summer, though.
Did he?
He's
He's just
He
saying.
said-
I spoke to him the
Wales,
other day. Flinny's like a good pal of mine,
Yeah.
still good pals. But, it was tough at the first, and do you know what? The first 6 months, I didn't enjoy it. I didn't like it. I wanted to come home.
Did you, mate?
I really didn't like it, and it kind of took until Nigel Clough came in for.
Were you staying down there yourself?
Aye, until I think my new wife came down in the summer. But that first period,
He kept phoning her when you were down there.
He's still here now.
Is he still doing that? He creep. What, mate, people don't realise how tough that is. You do the same. See, when you first go down there yourself, mate, and you like hear a bad game or that, you're like, what the fuck is this?
I know.
And I'm in the
I was
hotel,
in Digs when I first went down as well, and that was the worst experience ever.
No way,
You were
mate.
young though, mate.
Family,
right?
mate.
You were 18 though, weren't you?
You says they kept talking when you were in your room.
17? No, 18. Aye, that's what they were doing, mate, shagging.
No, but that's,
But
mate, that's
cats, I was allergic to cats.
Oh,
They put me in a flat with something I was allergic to. Fucking brutal. I was there for a month.
Did you kind of go, I don't mean, did you see at the time you were a wee bit like, I wish I never...
oh, 1,000,000%. I remember phoning my dad saying, "Do you think Motherwell will take me back?" That was in the summer, just before the summer, because we got to playoffs. We lost to Yeovil, and you know that way as a new signing, I think people don't even like. I've not really done anything yet. People wouldn't care if I wasn't here. It was a bit like that.
were you not playing well, Murph, when you first went down there?
I was doing alright, but like Scottish football to English football is worlds apart. It's like not even the same sport.
In what way?
In terms of like how they train, like you travel every game, you stay over every game.
Yeah.
Like you're in the gym constantly, training's hard, and like I'm not the biggest guy in the world. I'd went for no gym really to, you have to do this kind of stuff. And again, it took till Clough came in and he was like, "What the are you doing in there? Get out of here now." Fitness coach is like that. I'm like the fitness coach on the way out.
What, Clough said, like...
I wasn't allowed to do it, no.
Yeah,
He hated people doing the gym because like, you get too big, you can't run. I want you to run.
We were
Well,
talking
see,
that,
see as
wasn't
much as you said Jim Gannon with him, Nigel Clough for you. That guy fucking...
People have said that.
You've told me some Nigel Clough stories
Yeah.
that you better repeat today.
Right, come on,
Murph,
mate.
did you-
We could have an hour stories in Nigel Clough.
Right, come on, gaze the best ones in.
Start with the pub quiz.
See, the pub quiz was later. Pub quiz was when I went on loan to Mansfield. So his big thing, he didn't like people being alone. And like we said there, like, you know, he gets a bad rap. Like sometimes common sense and as a person respectful, like high on the list. So go to Mansfield. He knows me and Matty Longstaff are in the hotel. We're in the hotel together. This is a Wednesday night, so we're off the Thursday. Game's Friday. He phones me. He's like, "Murph, dinner 6 o'clock." And he would take you out with his family, so it was his wife and his kids.
Just you, his wife and his kids?
And me, Matty
Longstaff?
Longstaff. Matty Longstaff, aye.
Is that the guy who played at Aberdeen?
Aye, aye.
Right.
So, but he's like, pub quiz straight after, don't bring your car. You know that one?
So who's driving? His missus?
No, Matty.
All right, Matty.
Matty made Matty drive, because he'd never came across him before. And he was like, "So we go for dinner." It's like, you get to know he's like really nice family, really good family man and all that kind of stuff. So we go to the pub quiz, and the thing with Nigel Clough, like, you done what he said. Like, there was a reason he was telling you to do these things. So it was immediate, like, there wasn't even thoughts. It was like, "Got a pint?" He was like, "Aye, Gaffer, aye." So then you end up sitting there, and it was like 4 or 5. We'd do the pub quiz, and we'd go home.
That's amazing.
And then it got to that, we'd done that every week.
What night's this on?
Wednesday night.
Wednesday, the game's a Friday. The first game at Mansfield.
He used to, night before games, he would offer people a drink. And I remember the first time he done it, it was like, "Davey, you'll have a Guinness, eh?" And sitting there like that, you think it's a test because you don't know. And he's like, "No, Gaffer," and he gets like disappointed, like,
Well, you're not-
if he
yeah,
didn't
yeah,
and stuff. So I know you had McGinn on here. McGinn tells you one. We went to Marbella. And he comes in the Monday morning. Everyone got a passport, and we were like, "Aye, right, Marbella, Thursday morning."
That's sensible.
We've got a game on the Wednesday and a game on the Monday. So we play the Monday night, we win. He's like, "That's our reward for..." We went 10 games unbeaten when he first came in, and we were out the running. We were never making the playoffs, so we were only getting really. So I kind of that no one.
Yeah.
Marbella, Thursday morning. But we don't know, so we get there, we take all the training gear and stuff, and he's like, "Only 2 rules. Breakfast at 9, dinner at 6.
Getting unreal.
Get the gear on." We went outside, like poured water on us and that, took the photos, back in, gear off.
For the Sheffield United
That was
tournament?
us going. That was us. We were out for 3 days.
Does he come out with you?
He doesn't come out, but all the other staff came out.
What does he do?
He just chills at the hotel. He loves just chilling on holiday and that. So him and the assistant manager stay at the hotel, and all the physios, everyone, they all come out, and we had a great time. And you get to know everyone. So Thursday, Friday, fly home on the Saturday, trained the Sunday, played the Monday night on the telly, 0-0 at Preston.
He's played on the telly.
He's telling the other manager we broke the Jaeger bomb record in Linnipers and stuff like that.
That's
just things like that. But he did really, really look out for me.
Did he recognise that you were struggling at the time when he first came in?
No, because he left me out the first 2 squads.
Did he?
But his big thing was if he didn't complain, you complained to Nigel Clough, you were gone.
You were done.
So, but we didn't know at the time. I was just carrying on. I'd spoke to Hibs, Terry Butcher taking over at Hibs, so there was maybe a chance going back there. But I was training, and I was kind of doing well in training, so I kind of made it onto the bench, and we played Leyton Orient away, and I came on 88th minute or something like that, and I get the ball, and I go past like 4 or 5, just a wee run, and we win a corner. Well, no big deal really. And I get in the change room, and it's as if I've just scored for 30 yards. So what a run that was like. So next game I'm starting, and I score, and then just took
Mad how football can change.
Crazy, innit?
So took off there, and we got to FA Cup semi-final, managed to get to Wembley, score at Wembley, Carling Cup semi-final, won Player of the Year. And sorry, that Carling Cup semi-final, we play against Spurs, we play White Hart Lane, 1 each. Lost 1-0, we were 40 minutes late for the game. He hated being on time for the game.
You'd always be late?
So we'd always be late.
I would fry my fucking brain.
So, but if we were too early or if we were on time, he'd stop the bus 500 yards away from the stadium. You know how many times I've nearly got ran here trying to get to Swindon Stadium?
Through the roundabouts?
He would stop the bus and you had to walk the rest of the way because he didn't want you thinking about the game. He wanted you just to be there, boots on out.
Genius.
So, I think the club actually got fined the first leg there. Then we play at Bramall Lane. And we play, and my dad still says it's the best game I've ever played. Kyle Walker's the right back. Wow. So I played up against him, I'm doing brilliant. I go up front, I'm playing up against Vertonghen, I sit him doing a cross one. Shea Adams scored his first goals. Shea Adams, because he scores 2. He celebrates the first one, and Clough's gone mental because we need another goal to get back in it. So Shea Adams goes and does a knee slide and does that, and all I can hear is him behind me going mental because he's celebrating. So we play the game, they score last kick of the ball to put us out.
Was that the Ericsson free kick?
Ericsson scores the best free kick you've ever seen.
What a team that
If you can watch it back on YouTube,
it's for a pure mad angle,
it's
isn't it?
where wide. The goalie starts running behind the goal because he thinks the ball's going near the bar, and it hits the stanchion, goes in.
Hey, what a Spurs team that was.
Amazing.
Spurs, so Harry Kane and Dele Alli when he was flying.
Wow.
That team. So we get to the end of the game, and I'm gutted, man. You know they get the old, you play well, and they come up and you get the old tap in the head, or they pat you on the back or whatever. And I see this guy coming towards me, but he's got a hat on. I'm like, I kind of know that face or whatever. And he's gone, whoa, and he's smiling. He's got the biggest smile in the world going, and he takes his hat, it's Adebayor. And he comes at me and he's going, oh, I remember you, you're a good player. And he gives me a hug and he kind of walks off with me.
The fuck?
Adebayor. So I'm thinking, I'm just like, Adebayor knows who I am. So we go into the change room and Clough's staying in the team talk and he's like, gutted for his boys, like gave everything, couldn't ask to any more. Murph, my office now. So I'm like, oh no, has he seen me smiling with like Adebayor on the way in? And I'm like, he's going to fucking go mental here. I go in the office and he's like, it was the 30th of January or the 29th of January, something like that. He's like, I want you to sign a new contract. I want it done by 12 o'clock tomorrow. Whatever you want, it's yours. Just get it done. Pat me in the back, send me back out. And I was like, all right. So my agent phoned up 9 o'clock the next morning. I had signed it the next day.
Amazing, man.
That's fucking mental.
New 3-year deal. So
$100,000 a week.
No, but it was good for League One at the time. So when he got the sack, I was straight on the phone. I was like,
get me away.
I want to go.
Do you ever think though, like, what if I'd never signed that just because of how you played in the game against Spurs? Like, what could have happened?
Because he knew Brighton were at the game. There was a few clubs at the game because I'd been playing well and doing well. So that was his way.
I mean, he sounds like the best guy ever.
There was 3 rewards. He said footballers respond to 3 things, and it was days off, nights out, and money. So he tried to make sure that you were looked after by the 3 of them. Yeah.
Right, the best. What about? Did you ever play cricket with him?
Indoor cricket? You ever played indoor cricket?
No.
I mean, it couldn't like big cricket couldn't get any worse, but he put it indoor, and it was like 10 yards wide and 30 yards long with a real cricket bat and real cricket ball. Aye. And you had to, if you hit the back net, that was like a 6. But he bowled So he bowled as fast as he could. And see if you didn't hold the bat right, or like moved out the road of the ball, or the ball was coming and you couldn't catch on that, he would go ballistic, man. So you had to do, and you know how they lean the bat over the line?
Yeah.
See if you didn't lean the bat over the line, look, and he would be shouting at people, look, it's pretty simple, all you do is that.
Coaching you cricket.
He did do all that kind of stuff. But nah.
How often would you play cricket?
He changed my career, man, Nigel Clough.
How often? Sorry, I'm just...
Recovery days a lot of the time.
Is it?
But a lot of the time he would just have a cricket ball in his pocket. So he'd be watching training and throwing the cricket ball up, just like playing with it. Nah.
You told me the story about the boy that done his cricket, playing cricket, didn't you?
Was it? Did he do his cricket? No, I don't think so. I know there was another person that said that. I think it was maybe at Derby or something.
Was it no Bywater that broke his hand? And
It was maybe something like that.
Stop fucking moaning and just get on with it.
Aye.
No caring that his goalie was out
Somebody
for
got
like
injured
training.
playing cricket.
But I've seen him get rid of a boy because he had gloves on. And I never wear gloves. And a lot of the stuff I do now is because of him.
Of Nigel Clough. What do you mean the boy wore gloves in a game?
The first training session, he'd kind of just taken over, and we're doing that, you know, like throw head catch.
Yeah.
All Clough's exercises, all team building exercises, that's his thing. Your team first. So it was like throw head catch. This boy Marcus Williams had gloves on. First time he gets it, fucking drops the ball. So he says, that's because you've got gloves on. He does take them off. Gets the ball again, drops it again, and you know what's coming. He's like, that's because you've got fucking gloves on. And he gets louder. I mean, never seen again.
Never seen again.
Nah.
Was he scary?
So, he's all right now. Like, you got to go to know him. Like,
If he
No.
didn't like you, he's
if he didn't like Mark,
What's the worst
Mark
bit
McNulty. He liked Mark McNulty, but he would give Mark McNulty it stinking.
What would he say to her?
Just his big thing was about strikers, about stopping the ball, and Sparky obviously never used to stop the ball, and he would go on.
Stop the ball?
Stop the ball. That's the thing. See if you get past the ball as a striker, like run or near the box, and you took a touch back out the way. He wanted you to back in, stop it. He says, well, what, that hard to get there? He doesn't want you to come back out dead easy. He wants you to stay up there.
And get
So there was
runners off you and...
There's so much stuff like I take from him, like just common sense things. Even being as a manager, you know how we stay away all the time. If we were playing in London from Sheffield and somebody lived in like, I don't know who's doing that, MK Dons, and they were travelling up for training that, he'd be like, don't you come in to train tomorrow, we'll pick you up on the way down. You know, stuff like common sense, stuff like that. That
Whereas
little things.
everyone must be
You need to be here
Come on
and you
to
need to be there.
Sheffield.
So he was brilliant for that. And remember, Rangers got to the Europa League final. So the plan was for us to go, but we make the playoff.
What do you for used to go, the full team?
No, not for me, my dad, and that
Right,
to go over. We make the playoffs, and I'm thinking the playoffs are the day before, but it turns out it's the night of the final. So we play the first leg, we win 3-1. I play well. Second leg, he goes, I'm going to back 5, so I'm going defensive. So immediately I'm thinking, fuck, I'm no playing, and Rangers are playing the Europa League final. I'm not even going to get to see any of it. So I'm on the bench, whatever, before we go out, it's like, take your phone out. And I was like, nah, you're not missing that. You're not missing that final to be on the bench here, take your phone out. So I sat and watched the game. So on the bench of the League 2 playoff semi-final, I'm at the back of the bench with my phone up the thing like that, rattling the seats, everyone's turning around like that, watching what's going on.
What a hero, man.
So, do you know what I mean? Like that, stuff like that, like other managers wouldn't do for you. But he would try his best to do everything he could for you if you tried your best for him.
Jason, he done the pub quiz thing with Jason Cummins. Jason Cummins, when he told the story, was fucking hilarious because he said he was in the back seat with the kids. So Cummins is in the middle of the 2 kids as he's asking him questions. He's like, what the fuck?
That is brilliant.
Would some players not like it though? The way he was?
There would be a few, but it would be hard not to like it because of what he'd done for you off the pitch. Because he made sure that if you wanted to go on an away trip to Marbella or anything like that, he'd arranged for us all to go to Sheffield Dogs for a night out, or like, and it wasn't like don't go and don't enjoy yourself, don't have a good time. It was like, who's no drinking?
Go and get steaming.
Who's no drinking? He would set the fine for like no turning up and stuff like that. So team bonding and team unity was his whole philosophy.
What about the funniest thing you've heard him call or say to people? Because somebody on here's told the one where he called it Michael Jacobs a League 2 wanker.
I remember the one that I remember was the fourth official called him Coffee, and it was like everyone was like, oh no, he's just called him fucky. And it was just like, do you think that you're my mate and you can see the wee fourth official like that. Do not call me that. That is not my name. My name is Nigel to you. You are the fourth official. Wee fourth official was like that. Oh, right, carry on.
Amazing.
That's
Nigel Clough, what a guy.
So do you put a lot of it into like your success?
He changed my career. He made it so simple. Like things like Nodes going into the gym. Like he says, "What are you good at?" He says, "I'm quick and can dribble at it." You do that then. Before the game, he'd just say, "Just run," and I'd go to say something. No, just run. And it got to the point. I was doing that well. At the end of his team talks, he would say, "Pass the ball to Murph." At the end of his team talk.
The
See the player
constant
manager saying that, pass the ball.
No, the first couple of times he said that, and I'm like nervous. I'm like, he said that again. But then it generally became the end of his team talk. Remember, pass the ball to Murph.
Mate, how did
I felt on top of the world.
Aye,
Man.
confidence, yeah.
That was my favourite.
His dad loved John Robertson, who was a left winger as well, didn't he?
He used to say that to me as well. I think he kind of bases all his team on like his team.
Well, how his dad's team was.
Like so he would would say that to me about that guy and how he played and all that kind of stuff.
Would he,
And he would sign players like that reminded him of players from his team.
That's mad, isn't it? No, John Robertson was a Celtic assistant manager. He was Brian Clough's favourite player, mate. He used to call him the fat Scottish lad, didn't he? But he absolutely loved him.
Well, he gave me a tight about being Scottish and playing up here and that.
Did he? I think his dad was the same. Jim McInally went down there and gave him a tight. Billy Painter.
Billy Painter was he there?
You know Billy as well, didn't you?
He was here.
How funny is he?
He came that year. We got to the semi-final, and again with Clough. The thing I remember about Billy Painter is we were staying the night before the semi-final at Wembley. I think we were staying at the Grove, somewhere lovely, really nice hotel and that. We sit down at dinner to have pre-match that, and Billy Painter walks in, bucket of Corona, put to the table. He sat and drank like 6-7 Coronas at the table.
Night before the game?
Night before. He was suspended anyway, but Clough had obviously said to him, you can have a drink or whatever, so he came in, bucket, ice, Corona.
Nigel Clough would love him though, wouldn't he?
He'd love Billy.
We had a few, but we're all Scousers and Scottish people.
Did he love Paul Cooch as well?
Cooch, he was there.
He loved
we had
Cooch.
5 or 6.
Cooch done well for Sheffield, didn't he?
Jamie Kevley,
Big J played with J, good one.
Scouse. But
Need to ask you about Harry Maguire. Played with Harry Maguire.
Harry Maguire. Would you have expected?
Was his
him to
arse
go?
hairs tied together then?
You knew he was going to play higher.
Was he?
We played against Villa. Villa were in the Prem at the time. We were League One, and he bullied Benteke. Bullied him. He was only 19 at the time. Benteke was flying, and won everything. But like he is now.
But he was amazing at stepping in with the ball. I remember at Sheffield United. He could dribble with the ball, couldn't he?
If he wanted to take training, if you played 5 sides and he got the ball off a goalie, he could run past everyone and score.
I remember.
It's strange what's kind of happened to him now.
I remember, but that Sheffield team, like you said, that's what he was good with when he was on the. He just used to dribble by people. There was like clips of him running down the right wing, like crossing the ball and all that.
I swear, I get past the ball for Harry more than anyone because he would dribble past everyone, get to like the number 10, and Jimmy it wide.
Slide you in.
He was brilliant.
Who else at Sheffield United was top? Anybody else?
We had loads of good players that went. Connor Cody came on loan. He done really well. He played in midfield. Josie Baxter was brilliant.
Josie Baxter, what a player he was.
If you had him in your team in possession or whatever.
At 10, he was a joke.
You play against him?
Baxter, the Sheffield United team was good. Kevin McDonald, I thought Kevin McDonald was brilliant.
But he'd left by the time Clough had come in.
We used to play against him.
Did they battle you or?
I think the games are usually quite close. We were always playoffs round about the same time.
Who were you up
Were you still there with Luke Williams and that?
When Luke Williams came to Swindon, no, I'd left the year before he came, but they were a proper. That was the game you played like fucking 6-5 in the playoffs.
Aye.
No, but Kevin McDonald was a good player.
See, did you see you win the FA Cup semi-final?
Aye.
Who was that against? I can't remember that game.
Yeah, that was against Hull. So we play the game, we take the lead, Josie Baxter scores, we go 1-0 up, they score, and then I go on a run, cut it back, Stephen Skugel scored, made it 2-1 right before half time, and it's the most I've ever seen the gaffer celebrate. He went mental. At half time we are thinking we are going to the FA Cup final. I think it was Arsenal had already got there.
That's right, it was Arsenal.
It was Arsenal, so everyone was probably a bit too hyped. So we come out the second half, they scored a couple of goals, we're kind of up against it again. I think it gets to 4-3 maybe, 4-2, I score, make it 4-3, like 80-95 minutes, and then they score again, make it 5-3. But I remember when they scored the 5th goal, we're walking back to centre circle and the full Sheffield United then stood up and clapped. Like us, like of the effort and everything. They weren't we weren't expected, we're still League One at the time, they were in the Prem at the time. They were.
That's right, so they were. Was that I remember Aaron McLean and all that, wasn't it?
Who's this again, sorry?
Hull City. And then Harry Maguire signed for Hull after that season.
Oh, did he?
I always remember it's still shown on Sky sometimes now, your Sheffield against Swindon in the playoffs.
Oh, it's a great game.
Still show that on Sky all the time.
Because Wes was the goalie.
That's right, Wes was the goalie.
League One Wes.
Mate, you were doing like 6-2 at one stage and you get it back to like 1 goal, don't you?
We lost the home leg 2-1 and Swindon went up 3-0 within the first 5
That's right,
minutes.
3-0.
So you immediately thinking,
5-1 done.
this could be a disaster here. We need a goal to get back in it. And then we got a goal. Then we got another one. And then they got another one. Shea Adams again came on, done well. Scored. I think he scored late on. And they got to 6-5 with like 2 minutes to go.
That's
but
right.
we couldn't get the last one.
Any other Cloughy stuff just before we move on? Any other stories that come to mind? Anyone he's told you that you can remember?
I know, like you've told me loads over the
I'm
time.
trying to think of them all. But the thing with Clough was he knew everyone's mum and dad. He knew my wife's name, he knew my kid's name, he knew my mum and dad's name. Again, that's kind of just about who he was. You know, you get all these stories like people say this and that, but that's kind of who he was and what he done for me.
I think people would expect that as a norm in football, but it's
No.
never. I've never had a manager that knew your mum and dad and your wife and kids' names.
But it's like he's talking about like Sheffield, like he signed them for Mansfield, he signed them for Burton, like
Paid you a fortune, you bastard. Innit, yeah.
No, but even the Burton thing, it was at Rangers, obviously, I'm sure we'll go into it, but it was just like, come down, you'll play every week. Like, don't worry about it. Not even a thought. So I go down and play 10 games, scored 7 goals. And then COVID came in and kind of kicked that short, but you know, he's just that kind of manager. I'd run through a brick.
How would he be tactically? Would there not be a lot of tactics now? Was it just...
This one you could say. His tactic, he didn't really do tactics. And on the match day, he would just come in with the team on a formation, put it on the wall, walk out. That was your team. That was your team for the day. You could be playing any formation,
and you just had to kind of make up for yourself, but just...
No, he obviously knew what he was doing, but that was always how he done it. And I always remember he used to do the subs kind of, I don't know if he still does it, he used to do the subs kind of in order and how unlucky you were that you haven't played.
So if you were bottom of the sub, you knew there was no chance you were getting on.
So if you had played the week before, but you weren't playing this week, maybe you were first sub. But if you were bottom sub, I'd be like... Oh,
and would the subs go like that in terms of bringing them on?
No,
he would mix it out, right?
But
that's brilliant, wasn't it?
if you were bottom sub, you knew you kind of had to do better. That was kind of his way of saying...
It's good tactic.
That is good, that, isn't it?
Without having to pull them in the office and have an awkward chat.
Quite genius, that, isn't it? Right then, Brighton.
How does that come about, that move, mate?
Chris Hughton.
I knew they were in from me. I knew they'd watched a couple of games, and I knew they were kind of in from me early on in that summer. But it never actually got done. I remember speaking to Nigel Adkins who'd taken over. But as soon as Clough left, I spoke to him. I was like, if Brighton come in, I want to go. And they're like, right. If we get to this number...
So did Brighton come for you, when Clough was there?
No. If Brighton get to this number, then we'll accept it. Until then, just keep going the way you're going. And I was like, right, that's fair. And it kind of went on to mid-August. And they got to that number. Nigel Clough's on the phone to me. You need to go to Brighton. You need to go to Brighton. And I was like, if I get the chance comes up, Gaffer, I'll definitely be going. But they got to that number. I go in to see him, and he goes, Nigel Adkins goes, "No, you're not going."
Fuck
I
off.
was like,
after he says to you, if you get that, you're off.
I hate that.
so we played the first game of the season, and then I think I spoke to, I don't know if it was the chairman or someone on the board or whatever. I spoke to him and I was like, look, I still want to play for Scotland. It's quite clear I can't play for Scotland, even though like one player of the year at Sheffield United, I'm playing well, playing all these big games. I've not even had a sniff for Scotland. I was like, I need to play Championship to have a chance. And he was like, that's fair. We'll work on things and we'll accept the bid. So I go in the next day and I'm just training as normal. But I go in to see the manager before and I'm just like, Gaffer, I know they're going to accept this bid. Like, should I be training or whatever? And he's like, what are you talking about? I said, I spoke to like the board last night. They said they were going to accept it, and he was fuming. He was fuming that the board had already said. He was like, fuck off out and train. So I trained in that day. Ended up going down. That was it all done.
Did you know that did Brighton sell it to you that they were going to be at the stage that they're at now?
They sold it like that, but the year before they'd only just avoided relegation. The Championship, right. Chris Hughton had taken over. And like, you know, the big thing now is managers want to speak to people before, like, I know it's probably not allowed, they want to speak to players before, like, you sign.
To get to know your personality and stuff like that, yeah.
I never wanted to speak to the manager before it was done and stuff. So as soon as it was done, I spoke to Chris Hughton. It was just a chance to play in the Championship that I hadn't done yet. And and got down and seen Brighton's training ground compared to everything else I'd ever been.
Was that unreal?
Was just like.
Guy Tony Bloom's a genius at Brighton, isn't he?
The Amex some stadium as well.
amazing.
The facilities in there's
I know it made every seat a padded seat. Do you know that?
What
so
is
that
it?
everyone sat in the same kind of seat that he sat on.
What, in the
We're in
full
a full
stadium?
stadium.
It's leather seats?
Not full leather seats, but just like
It's the biggest
not your
away
basic
changing room
seats.
in the world as well.
Is
That
it?
away
Have you played
changing
there, Andy?
room's massive, innit? Aye.
It's brilliant. Stadiums in terms of stuff like that, man, it's brilliant.
So was Bloom in when you
He was a chairman,
You
aye.
took them for they were bottom. They were going down in League One when I was there.
Have you seen some of his interviews?
He's a maverick man. He's a gambler, isn't
He
he?
used to play poker.
He's a professional gambler. That's how he got his money.
He's got a statistics company now as well. I think his race courses. He's got
Because that's how they do their recruitment and all that, based on the stats, isn't it?
But who were the players in the when you first get to Brighton? Who were the players in that Brighton team? The ones that stand out?
Lewis Dunk's obviously the one that's
Was he a joke, mate?
Mate, I say this on here, I'd never expected to see Lewis Dunk
Did you not?
play out for the back and that.
Mate, Connor Golson says Lewis Dunk's like the best he's ever seen. But he talks about, like, he compares him with other centre halves in the Prem. So give me an example.
Van Dijk.
Somebody like no Van Dijk.
Just
but-
under that,
so like, so say like concept, but he'll like miles better. Like
He used to zing everything, just so casual. Pop two snooze in, zing the ball about.
But it's mad, don't it, like how much a system and a man, because I remember Lewis Dunk when they were bottom League One leathering the ball up the pitch, mate, but it was obviously he was told to do that for the manager, and you think there's no way this guy, now you see him absolutely popping the ball about.
We had a great team that first year. We should have went up the first year. Like the boy Bruno Salto, the right back. Was,
Good player, bro.
He's the best player I've ever played with.
Was he?
Aye.
No.
In terms of, he was a captain, how he was as a guy, how he trained every day. You couldn't get by him. Just like brilliant. And he had everyone was like trying to copy his diet. And that.
mate,
You know,
I
like
was
one
just
of the
about to
guys.
say that. Connor did that.
Yeah, aye, Connor copied his diet, fully
When
copied
they all
his diet.
copied his diet, aye.
And what
He
was
was
the
active.
diet like?
Do you know, just one of these weird Spanish diets?
So
that he used to have?
I kind of remember some things that probably should have. Pre-match on a Friday, it would be a massive plate of just fish and salad,
Aye.
and then a massive plate of plain spaghetti.
Pasta.
No
Aye.
sauce, like nothing, just plain. Like, but I'm talking about huge plates. So it'd be one massive plate of just salad and fish, one massive plate of just pasta with no sauce on it.
The driest mouth.
Yeah, he was brilliant in terms of like even being the captain. All the British boys want to go on a night out, and all the foreigners, no arse. He would make sure that they would
Everyone
come.
went.
He would come.
He
sit
had
and
been going
have a
on
couple of
coaching
whiskeys.
staff, didn't he, Bruno?
He did, aye, and then he went to
that's
Chelsea.
Chelsea, that's right, yeah.
Chelsea.
Gerrard done. I remember we done analysis for the midfielders once at Rangers with Gerrard, and Gerrard's big thing with. So you talk about switches of play. His big thing was like, see if you switch the play and the ball went over a certain height, it was like it's a shit ball.
Gives them time to
So the
stuff up
travel
first.
time, the way. So he used to show you clips, and it was Lewis Dunk, like zinging the ball at like a certain level where it gets there quick, like, and it was always Lewis Dunk clips.
Amazing.
That was like Gerrard showing you clips of somebody switched the play, and it would be fucking Lewis Dunk. You know what I mean?
So we had a really good team that first year. We were up there fighting for automatic, and then the last day of the season we were playing against Middlesbrough away. If they drew, they were up, and if we won, we were up. We went down and we got a man sent off, but we went down. Sorry, we went 1-0 down. We score, we're on top, and then we got a man sent off, and it absolutely killed it. And then we lost the playoffs to Sheffield Wednesday. The semis never made Wembley.
And then the next year you got
Next
to the
year,
Premier
I go
League.
straight up. Aye.
Did you piss the league that next year?
We ended up just finishing second, but it was us and Newcastle were well ahead, really. By the time it got to, I think we beat Reading in maybe February, and they were third. And we kind of, from then, we kind of knew we were going.
How nice is Brighton to live as well, mate.
It was lovely, man. It was
Beautiful,
so hot. Couldn't get used to the heat, man.
I
Shorts, t-shirt till about December.
Brighton.
Aye, but do you know what I mean? It's like it was like living in a
Portsmouth
different
was the
country.
same, mate.
Aye.
Fucking roasting, innit?
Sleeping with the windows open, everything. It was like, hell, it's too hot.
The lanes, you got the lanes.
Yeah, the lanes is nice.
Restaurants and bars, nice, mate.
Do you think it's class when you talk to players about players they played with, and you get pure shocked with ones that say like how good some are?
I like Dunk.
Aye.
Uh-huh.
Alex Coughlin, obviously when he was alone at Hearts, so he used to talk about the boy Pascal Grosso at the time.
Pascal, he was there when I was there. He had
Was
the
he?
slowest
Just
Cruyff
went
time
to-
of all time, and it worked.
went to
every
Dortmund,
time.
didn't he?
Just went to Dortmund.
But he says like
Wow.
for everyone you talk about like Brighton, he's like Pascal Grosso the best by a mile.
Wow.
Like,
Yeah,
by far the best.
He actually texted me 6 months ago by accident.
Then what?
All right to come down at 10:30 for a rub. And I was
He
like,
must have thought you was a masseuse.
I heard you rub
Jamie
balls,
masseuse.
and I was like, my German friend, I don't think that's for me. And he was, oh yeah, Jamie, our physio's name's Jamie and stuff. Sorry, pal. Like, speaking to him for a wee bit.
Who
But
else
nah,
could
he's
just
not
to be anyone else there that was still at Brighton now, or
Oh, I don't know. Solly Martins was there.
Solly
He
Martins,
was
good player.
he was a good player at the time.
He's came for like conferences and all.
He was at Lewis.
Wow.
Is that how you say it, Lewis? It was next to Brighton. It was like a wee junior team.
LEWES.
Aye. Next to Brighton, he came from there. He's done really well. But we had a great team. We had like 7 or 8 full-on cannons on the drink in that team.
Who was that?
There's a few. There's a good few. Try to think.
Shane Duffy,
Dunk, Knockhart, Dale Stevens.
Knockhart was a
Bald
player.
up,
He
so
was Dale Stevens.
Knockhart got player of the year that year.
Lefty.
And the club, then when we went up, the club paid for us to go to Vegas, all expense, like everything paid, business class, all that kind of stuff. It was just a mad time. And then even we had to fly back from Vegas. We landed at 10 o'clock and we had to go straight to the parade at 10:30. So they took us straight from Gatwick Airport to the parade. You know, everyone's just been on Vegas for 4 days, landing this parade. Parade turned out to be amazing. One of the best experiences of my life. Going along Brighton Beach on the open top
back
bus.
of a donkey.
It wasn't a bus, it was just donkeys. But now along there, and then they built a stage. It was like a concert. They invited us out one by one. We got our medals for getting promoted. Like the promotion, you get a promotion trophy. Like we all lifted it and stuff like that. And then we go to the after party, and Fatboy Slim's DJing the after party.
He's from Brighton, isn't he?
He's a big Brighton fan,
Wow.
all that kind of stuff. So it was just a wild time. It was brilliant.
What was the day that you got promoted to the Premier League? Can you remember it?
I remember it because my son was born. So we play on the Friday night. Like, you know, when you're at a big team and doctors and everything arrange stuff around, like you get the kind of advantages. So my wife was due, but he said, we'll take her on the Saturday. So we had the game Friday night against Wolves. We beat Wolves away. Saturday, we go in. Nadine has my son, Jay. Jay's born on the Saturday. Train Sunday. We play Easter. It was the Easter weekend, you know, when you play Friday, Monday. So we play the game on the Monday, and Nadine gets into the hospital with Jay, and she comes to the game. So she's at the game.
And you
So
get
it's
promoted
2
to
days
the Premier
off,
League.
and we got promoted to Premier League.
That's incredible.
Brilliant.
So then, you play at Brighton. It's a nightmare to get into by car, the stadium. But they've built it so that the train station comes right into the stadium.
Right.
So there's a train station at the stadium. So after we win, we're like, right, we're obviously going to, the chairman's booked a place in Brighton City Centre, we can go straight there. We've all started drinking already, we've all had a good few drinkings already. So like, how are we going to get in? So train's there. But obviously it was full of fans and all that kind of stuff, but like, they were like, the security came, all right, we'll get you on. So we go on the train. You go on the train, you get lifted up, and you start getting like crowd surfed down the train, all that kind of stuff. You get to the train station, you get there and there's thousands of people there, and they put us on their shoulders and they all carried us down the main street in Brighton, down to the club that the chairman had booked.
That's incredible.
It was unbelievable.
And then first Prem game, Man City at home. 24th minute you came on.
Yeah, I was annoyed at no start.
24th minute?
Aye.
That's
Izzy Brown got injured.
Oh, I remember him.
You didn't want to
for
go
Chelsea.
after 24, do you?
And I remember being annoyed that he'd played over me, to be fair.
How was he pish?
No, just that
Young
I'd
boy
played all
for Chelsea.
pre-season.
Oh, is that right?
I'd played all pre-season and he'd kind of came in.
Right.
And we ended up signing a boy for Colombia on like 14 million who I knew was going to play, but at that time I thought I was going to play, but in 20 minutes in he gets injured and I come on, and it's the full City shebang. I think that was the first season they won the league. That was the first game. So like Kyle Walker, De Bruyne, I think they went 2 up front. Aguero and Jesus both played up front.
Was that like a different level of football you've ever seen?
Different level. And you know what they done? They made this noise when they were shouting for the ball. I don't know, it was just
Aye.
I kept hearing that noise. I was like, do you know that way I'm looking at? I went, why can't I hear that?
Or they
It was all-
whistled, didn't they?
It was all the
Imagine
the
De Bruyne and
forwards.
Aguero kissing each other.
Aye, it was all them shouting for the ball, so that you don't shout for the ball and say, here, over
so
here,
you could
so you
the
don't know that
opposition.
they want the ball. So that was just one thing for that game that I remembered, but yeah, it was
Is
just
that the
different
best team
level.
you've ever played against?
Aye, I would say so. That pre-season we played against Atletico Madrid and it had all the big boys in it as well, but it was a friendly. So playing that team,
See, when you get promoted to the Premier League, don't go into details, but does the money go massive? Not massive, but does it double?
it goes up. I know everyone says it doubles, but I think most people were like at 50%, and that sounds like it doubles, but it's no actually
Oh,
doubles.
so it's 50, but right, I get
50%
you,
on what you're kind of already
And
on.
you get a big bonus, obviously.
And you get a bonus for going up, you get a bonus for staying up. And they do look after you, but one of the biggest thing I was buzzing about is when you got to the Prem, you got a Nike or an Adidas deal. So I was just buzzing.
Who got a
just
Nike?
a wee guy in me.
What, you got a Nike?
I got a Nike deal when we went up to the Prem. Aye.
Well, did every player get that? Or
Everyone had the choice. Aye.
No, is that what happens to everyone then? You go up to the Prem, you get an icon Adidas deal?
I think it might be now because they used to do all the championship and then they've stopped doing it.
I never knew that.
What's the one you
So
got
we would
for?
get in and Nike and
Joe, I got Joma when I was 17 at Celtic. Well, then McStay made it like fucking, I was getting a new Mercedes, mate. He's like, come here mate, till you hear what I've got for you. Got you a Joma deal. I was like, fuck off. Joma.
Well, seen that, sorry, just to go back here, but seen that some of you get promoted and you go up to the Premier League, can you see them make a lot of changes, make a lot of signings to sort of try strengthen up for the Premier League?
Yeah, you knew they were going to make a sort of signing. But
Do you worry about that?
A little bit, but what they did say was we're going to reward all you boys that have kind of taken us up, which didn't happen. Or it happened for some people, it didn't happen for me. But like that summer, I remember getting called up for Scotland that summer, Scotland-England, while I was going on holiday, so I had to kind of cut holiday short, get ready for that. End up being the one that got cut out of that as well. But that meant, I was kind of half ready for pre-season, so I've had a good pre-season. Came on that game, started the next game, played a couple more, but it kind of became evident that I was kind of on the outskirts a little bit. But Chris Hughton was brilliant. Like,
Was he?
nothing bad. Like, so respectful. Like, if you weren't playing, he'd call you at the office, tell you why. There was no beating around the bush, stuff like that. And then when it kind of maybe got to January, time to leave, he knew Rangers were interested coming in. He was like, I don't really want you to leave. I like you. You're not going to play, but I like you being maybe 17th, 18th man in the squad. To be there if you need you. I trust you if you have to come on and stuff like that.
Just before we got to Rangers, who was the best player that came up against in the Prem? Honest, on that actual day when they were...
That day, do you know who the best? I don't know if it's because he went David Silva. Do you know that?
Genius.
You were talking about body contact and getting close to people and that kind of stuff earlier. You couldn't get near him. Just, he knew you were coming at all times if you were going to press him or just move the ball, or he would take touches when he needed to take touches.
Genius.
And he was up there.
So can I ask my question, please?
He said,
What does he think this is? What
so polite.
I know this is it's hard to see, but
Right, on to Rangers.
well, I've seen then, I know it's hard to say, but would you have then thought Brighton would have went on to do what they're doing now?
Probably not, no. You know when teams it's so hard, like, and I know it was difficult for Brighton for that first year to kind of get up there, and they were struggling. I remember they sacked Chris Hughton, and while they were just above the relegation zone, but at the time I thought, like, they're doing alright here, like...
People went mad about it, I didn't. I remember being got sacked, people were...
Who did they bring in then?
Was Potter after him?
Was it Graham Potter?
Potter,
I think it was Graham Potter. But Brighton have got this whole thing about... So they were never really, truly happy with Chris Hughton because he didn't play a certain
Style
way.
of play.
Aye. They were really massive on the... Because before they had Sammy Hippier, who played like that, Gus Poyet, and they kind of brung Chris Hughton in because he got promoted with Norwich and Newcastle before, he knew how to do it. He got promoted, but I always thought it was kind of their plan that they were going to change to that once they got up, which they did, and it was sad for Chris Hughton at the time, but it's obviously worked for them.
One of my favourite teams to watch, Brighton, now, Sam.
Aye, still watch it. It's brilliant.
That guy at 31, mate, looks like a genius.
Have they got a transfer policy, like a recruitment?
Mate,
They do have that
recruitment
Moneyball,
gets
aye.
spot on,
What is the
isn't it?
Moneyball thing again? Just quite
So it's stats related, isn't it? So data related.
Someone told me recently, there's someone that used to work there, that they signed me off the stats for the League One stats. That
They got
season
rid of
had to be
that
Nigel
software after
Clough. I know. Made a mistake, obviously.
Did they really? Right, so what was it based on, like, the number of times you beat your opponent?
Crosses in the box, dribbles, all that kind of stuff. And they still do. They still do a part of that now. But the chairman and the Brentford chairman used to be best pals.
They like each other.
Brentford did it. So, but they fell out.
That's right.
So the only time you'd ever really see the chairman was when they're playing Brentford. They'd come in the changing room before the game because he was desperate to beat Brentford.
Would he offer you a few extra quid to beat him?
I don't know, but you can just tell because he's a football guy, but he's not a football guy, if you know what I mean. He's obviously never played, but you could tell he was just really wanting to win that game. So I'd imagine he's probably still does the same now.
Mate, you've been nothing short of sensational.
I was going to say this. I think this is the greatest of all time.
No,
No, mate, this is incredible.
The hairs in my back standing up.
just chatting about
Here's on my
The
back.
ginger hairs.
Hairy back.
You got hairy back?
Oh, the what?
Usually here's your arms.
Mate, the best bit of that vlog, see when he's at the boy in the shop with the something truck. Have these been worn before? The guys.
I'm not buying them, man.
Buying them.
Right, Shy, Rangers loan move. I think Andy take this away.
This is where
Go
Andy
on,
comes
Andy
in.
boy.
He's on.
So when did you first see Rangers being interested?
This has turned into the Heart and Hand podcast.
Half of Glasgow will be tuning in, half will be tuning out.
Celtic fans have just turned up.
Andy, you here at this point, sorry?
Yeah,
Yeah, right, good.
You just came back for your
just came back, aye.
vacation.
The Florida camp was the first, wasn't it?
What was the Florida camp?
we went and played in the Florida Cup, but and you kind of knew they were interested in that kind of stuff, and then I get told it's done, and I'm making the flight up.
Who's your agent? Yeah.
The wee guy, Phil Coughlin, his name is. He's from down south.
Right.
So he got everything sorted and that. Well, at the time, Bristol City were in, like, much bigger money and stuff like that, and there wasn't, like, not even a thought. I remember speaking with Glenn Murray about it. He was like, there's easy choice, Bristol City. I was like, nah, you don't really get it, do you know what I mean? Like, come back to Glasgow, it's my team, like my dad's team, I've dreamed of this. So Glasgow took a pay cut to go.
See when when you first phoned your dad, like, do you remember his reaction when you go, Dad, like, Rangers are wanting to take us?
He was that'd be brilliant. Like, just even just getting me back up the road so he could come to the games all the time. He'd come to Brighton noon again, but having to get a flight down was a nightmare all the time. So even just for the fact that he could come to the games all the time and watch Rangers at the same time, it was brilliant. And then there was a bit of fiasco with the transfer. I don't think I've ever spoke about it, but so I fly up on the Thursday. I have first part of the medical Thursday night. The second part was booked for the Friday. So I did the medical Friday morning. And then I have to go to Murray Park because you were flying out to Florida at or you were meeting up that night and going to the airport or whatever. So it was all trying to get it done for then so that I could go out to Florida with them. And it was a transfer. There was no loan, it was a transfer. So gets to 2 o'clock, we're like, we just need to get some stuff done with Brighton. They're not really responding, so we just need to sit here for a bit. Gets to 5, 6, 7 o'clock. Like, they've all met up now. And they're like, we can't get a hold of them. And then Brighton phone, or my agent gets a hold of them, and then like deals off.
So where are you at this time in Brighton?
I'm in Murray Park.
Oh, you're in Murray
I'm
Park?
in Murray Park. I've done the medical. I'm in Murray Park. And Brighton phone, they were like, it's off.
Oh my God.
So I'm sitting in Murray Park thinking, like, what's going on here? I'm actually sitting at McDonald's because we've been in there all day and there was no food. Somebody went and goes to McDonald's. So I'm sitting in there. I'm sitting eating my double cheeseburger and the guy's told me, Brighton have said it's half. So I'm like, but Mark Allen's gone, no. Like, leave it with us, like, we'll sort it and that.
Who are you with? Your dad and that?
Me, my dad, my agent, Andy Scolding and Mark Allen. So we're just sitting there. They've all left. So I know I'm not going to Florida, like, straight away here. He says, no, don't worry about it, get it sorted. It gets to 11 o'clock at night and he's like, nah, they've said it's off. So I phoned it's Paul Barber, the chief executive, right? He was like, I am not coming back down. There is no chance on this earth I am coming back. I've moved my wife, the kids, they're already up. We're in our house. Like, we're selling our house down south. Everything's like sorted. There's no chance I'm coming back down. He's like, unfortunately, Jamie, like, it's just sometimes this happens and stuff like that. Hung the phone up. It's like, can I do this? So I go home that night thinking it's off. I think it's done. The next day my agent's like, no, we'll keep trying. So the next day my agent's on the phone all day, still nothing's happening. It gets to 6 o'clock, he's like, right, Brighton have said that it can be a loan and they have to pay this money by a certain date. And Rangers have agreed it. Everything's agreed. Are you alright with that? And I was like, aye, just get me in. So when I signed for Rangers, it's 11 o'clock at night at Ibrox. So all my pictures of me and my dad and that,
pitch black.
That's pitch black. They're at Ibrox. But it's like some of them are good photos and that. Like something, I don't remember seeing somebody getting signed at that time or like whatever.
What did your dad have on a suit jacket? It was too big for him?
No.
Did he boot your signing day and all at mine?
No, but do you know what? It was too big for me at the time. Signing for Rangers, they had this thing with the kit deal, so they never had the proper training kit and all that. Do you remember that? Like, there was this whole thing with Sports Direct about the training kit and all that. So I signed for Rangers, and I have got an extra large.
Kyle's training kit.
I've got an extra large jumper on, so I'm training like Slaney's dad with it on my hands.
Oh, how bad you?
I'm trying to run and roll it up at the same time. And I remember we signed Jason Cummins 2 days later, and he had a completely different training kit to the one
that you had.
That I had. And it was just like, that's kind of where Rangers was at the time, but nothing would ever stop me signing it.
Was that one of the best days of your career? Huh?
Aye, making that debut, I was just walking out simply the best, playing. It's definitely up there.
Was your dad there when you signed the Rangers?
No. It was just me and my agent.
Was it?
It was at Murray Park as well.
You know what your mum and dad, they loved that, nah? How come you never?
I know. Well,
they wouldn't have left it.
I didn't get. I never got like the. I never got the Ibrox job shift or that. I was just Murray Park. But remember, I was training for like
you were
a week before.
So you were,
do you know what I mean? So it was just like when I got on the pitch. I was in the training kit probably just after training. Do you know what I mean?
I think I only got the Ibrox thing because everywhere was shut. And that was the only place that they had. Stuart Robertson was there, and they had.
It was half 2 in the morning.
You'd rather do
I've got some photos at Murray Park of me and my dad holding it. Like, if I had a photo of me holding the strip with my dad and then never signed after it, I'd have been.
That'd have been
how good was that Florida trip?
That was brilliant.
That was unreal, man.
And do you know what one of the best parts of that? We went to the ice hockey. Did you go to the ice hockey?
Aye.
The ice hockey was amazing.
Aye, that's right.
Who likes ice hockey? Do you know what I mean? They took us to the ice hockey.
It was.
Did the Come Dog go as well?
There was like a concert on outside.
There was.
Everything was on.
I can't remember the two options, but there was like. It was, you went to the ice hockey, you went to somewhere else.
I think they just maybe went and played pool or something like that.
We
went to Cheesecake Factory and then the ice hockey.
Who was the manager this time, Murray?
Murray for the Florida trip. I and half went to like the ice hockey, but I like atmosphere in that class, mate, they fight like fuck.
Some game, it's
a scrap.
It's meant to be the most exciting American sport, isn't it? Because it's so end to end and it's not as tactical as all that.
I'm going to Braheed, there's Braheed clans, I'm going to watch him or not.
So you did.
Wait a minute, when?
I swear to God, every...
Who were?
A wee bird on that. Mate, that's true, but anyway, on to yours.
But we played like we played a couple of good
played
games.
Some big teams. We played Corinthians. We played
Brazil,
was one of them.
Sao Paulo. Like played good games, like good crowds, good stadiums. I remember we played at a fucking college football. The stadium was a joke.
University of Florida Stadium, something like that it was.
But facilities and that. But remember we got the access to
Universal. We got a day at Universal.
We got the access to like the water, the theme park. Mate, unreal.
Because you ever seen that photo where it's like it came out there was a couple of months ago and it was like name the Rangers players in this team. That was my
first trip.
My debut. Like, it was a friendly, but you call it debut. And you on it like 5 or 6 of people struggling to name, and then there's the mascot standing aside, so it looks as if we're all
it was like SpongeBob.
Standing at the side, and people are slaughtering it. Look at this Rangers team. I was like, that was my first game.
Did Monty get you? Did he get you the night out?
No, we just had that. We went out for dinner. We had a few drinks at dinner, didn't we?
No, but I don't know if you were there with the one. You had a curfew, but we broke it, and that's when Wes got attacked. Were you there?
No,
you know there.
Attacked Wes.
I can't remember how the setup was, but we went to Florida. Like we stayed in like
we stayed
like a villa. We're like 60 in the one villa.
What was it called? It was it's where all the NFL prospects go to train before they go. What was it called? I can't remember.
A combine?
A campus?
Something like that. But anyway, it was like 60 hours in our villa, whatever it was. The ones you weren't in mine, were you? But it was like me, Tav, Wes, Josh Windass, somebody else. So it was like you can go out back for the curfew. So we never came back for the curfew and we had to find a bar in Tampa. Have I not told it? I just thought I told a story before. And so we just went to some wing bar and we got a taxi and we said to the guy, can you just drop us at the nearest bar in Tampa? So he dropped us at one side of the road, right? But it was a one-way system, so you had to go through like, what do they call it, a neighbourhood to get to the bar. He's like, mate, it would take me like 10 minutes to drive around the one way. He's like, you just walk through there, you're sound. He's like, but just be careful, it's quite rough here. So we're like, straight away, like, fucking hell. So we've got out within about 100 yards, mate, I swear to God, like a guy just came running over, swinging a glass bottle like that. And like goes, Wes, where are you for? And Wes was like, Swindon. And it was, honestly, it was, I wouldn't say like, I was petrified, but it was like, fucking hell, man, like, what the fuck's going to happen here? No, it's like America, mate.
America,
so it's like 12, 13, 14 guys and like 4 of us. Couple of shite bags in there, no?
What? There was 13 or 14 of them?
Mate, 13 or 14 guys, mate, generally.
Gangbang.
And they were all drinking. This guy came, run there like that, skipping across. I was like, that's it, done.
I can only imagine the team meeting later that night. You know, anything wrong with Andy or Wes is?
I know. But we end up,
did you get to the bar?
No, we patched the bar straight back. That's to find the taxi. Oh, mate.
Oh, you'd be shiting yourself.
Mate, we only got about 10 yards. It was about a mile, didn't we? I was like, fuck that, we're off.
That's brilliant.
The Cum Dog, and who was your, was it?
Russel Martin.
Russel Martin were there as well, aye?
Russell came in, aye. He was getting older.
I always remember with Russell Martin, if you remember, he buzzed off Herbalife.
He
was
up there with the healthiest guy I've ever come across. He had that colitis thing, so he was like vegan in that as well. Like one of the first ones.
He looks a million to
battered the Herbalife, mate.
The problem was he was vegan, so they made all the lunch vegan.
What, the full thing for Russell Martin?
No, not the full thing, but
again, this was at a time where Rangers stuff wasn't proper or that.
Right.
And it was like, you get one tray at lunch and it was like lentil dal for lunch.
Aye, fuck me.
Just looking at
Code Russel Martin for 10% if you're lentil dal.
Lentil dal.
Fuck off. Fuck
See, back
me.
then, was Russell Martin, was he big on tactics, and would he talk about how he...
I say this to everyone, I don't know if you have a different recollection, Rick, but Russell was never like, he was never really about ball playing,
Nah.
centre half or playing out a certain way, and then you see him as a manager.
He wouldn't like demand it and that, no. He was a good player. Like, he knew what he was doing. We could tell he'd been a captain that before. But like, he wasn't like demanding that we pass it out for the goalie and all that.
I tell you, it was as well a great guy, wasn't he?
He was
I loved Russell. He was a
He
great
was
guy.
brilliant, like to be around and stuff like that.
Right, Gerrard, Paul.
I mean, but he's going to be Lucy Pinder.
So he is.
Who is?
She was,
Russell
see when you were young, she was the best.
Mate, I can't tell you how many I've done. Good.
I can't believe he's going out.
Aye.
She was a pinnacle, wasn't she?
Oh,
But
she's a
to be
bloody
fair,
belter.
it must have been almost the slowest centre back pairing of all time.
Aye.
Who was it?
Aye.
From Bruno Alves.
Oh, Bruno and Alves and Russell Martin.
He was mate, Euro winner.
People ask me, what would you say about Bruno?
Like, he didn't speak much. He was kind of with that group of foreigners that didn't know what to talk to him on. But the best I've ever seen at attacking the ball in the air.
Aye, the most aggressive, aye.
He would ruin 5 sides. If he was on it and he was up for it, he would get the ball at centre half, play it to, you know, if you have like the sidemen, play it to the
And then just hang
sidemen
up.
and demand that they float it to the back post.
Aye.
And he would
Just
jump.
dunk.
Honestly, I don't think there was anyone that could stop. There was nobody selling anybody in our team that could stop him. But that's all. Like, you look at players like that and you're thinking, how did he play at that highest level? But it was obviously because he was that good in the air. You don't know.
Top player.
Is it Gerrard that makes the move permanent?
It was already done to be permanent because
Right.
they'd paid it by a certain point. So I think I got down as one of Gerrard's first signings.
Wait,
Wasn't
when do
actually
you
him.
first hear at Gerrard's? Where are you when you hear Gerrard's getting the job?
Kind of when he went to the Old Firm game at
That's right.
Celtic 1-3-2, and he was there with Andy Scolding, was his mate from England,
Right.
who was the head of recruitment. So he kind of got a wee inkling then, and then a couple of weeks later, sure enough, it comes out.
What, did you just find it at the same time as everyone else when it comes on Sky? Or
I
don't
can't
know.
actually
Day before,
remember.
maybe it wasn't a long time before. No.
he's buzzing when you heard it was Gerrard?
I could. All I know, certainly same for me and Andy. All I wanted us today was win. Do you know what I mean? We'd played Old Firm games, we'd lost. Like, fans were on our back and that, and we just want to win here. Like, might have done well personally for 6 months, but like, if you get to the end of the season and Rangers are no winning, not even competing really for anything, then there's something wrong. So when he got announced, you're like, right, let's go, come on.
I always remember his, so he goes down the tarmac at Ibrox, didn't he, in like a car and he
Aye.
gets out, and I'll never forget, like, remember he goes mental at one point,
Aye.
but it's just like the fans in the stadium, like obviously they're to greet him or whatever, and there's one point he turns around and goes, fucking come on. It was like, what
he?
the fuck?
I don't think they filmed it. I think it was like,
Aye, he like goes proper mad at the fans.
Because he always seems to me like he's quite reserved all the time, Gerrard.
Aye.
He was for the most part, to be fair.
aye.
He was.
Quiet. He would like. You get some managers at lunch who would come and sit at your table and have a chat and that. He was never.
No.
He was never like that.
Except I always said Connor and Tav, like loved Connor and Tav.
I did, aye.
Never really had many
What is it
relationships with
about
anybody
the
else.
two that you loved so
Connor
much?
was his signing. So obviously I played with Connor at Brighton.
Right.
So Connor phones me and he's like, and he's a massive Liverpool fan, Connor.
Oh, he's
He's like, Rangers are really interested. The manager says he wants to come to my house. Like, I've got great offers for you down here. If Steven Gerrard comes to my house, I am signing for Rangers.
So he, I didn't know that. He was a massive.
he was a
That's
massive
why he
Liverpool
signed
fan.
for
Aye.
Rangers.
So I remember
Mate, see, to be honest with you, I think half the boys that signed with Rangers at that point was because of Gerrard.
aye.
I think he just had that. He had a pool where, because I remember Joe Aribo telling us that like he had offers in like the Prem, and it was like, you know what it's like, even with Rangers and Celtic, like it's hard to English boys especially, it's hard to turn down the English Premier League for Rangers or Celtic. And I think Gerrard was the defining factor for a few of them coming.
Yeah,
in.
it made them
that aura,
watch it
didn't
at least. You know what I mean? It made they were watching. Gerrard's one of the best ever players. Like so people down in England started watching Rangers just because he was.
Of Gerrard. Do you remember your first one-on-one conversation with him?
He phoned me because that was the summer that we went to Peru. So I was supposed to be off for an extra 10 days, and he phoned me and to say like, take the 10 days, enjoy yourself. And I was like, nah, I'm coming in. So I think
So
I went in. I was like, there's no way I'm missing the first 10 days of a new manager coming in, like one that's supposed to kind of. At that kind of point, I was playing every week. Like, felt like a big part of the team. I was like, no, I'm coming in. I live round the corner. I'm not just sitting in the house. I'm not getting any holidays planned for then.
You got a 2-bedroom in Govan?
Not for money, but money
Murray
Park.
Park,
In fact, when I signed for Rangers, both my cars get stolen. When I signed for Rangers, so I walk to Murray Park every morning.
Fuck off. What do you mean?
3 days after my debut for Rangers, somebody stole my car.
At your house?
Broke in my house, took the keys.
Again, his dad.
I think I remember that as well.
And then, so obviously that happened. And then 2 months later, I go downstairs, pick my keys up, go outside. I'm like, my car's not here. But I've got the keys in my hand. Like, where's my car? I'm shouting up to her, have you moved the car? She's like, no. So I guess to the point, I had to phone the police, and it was like, and they came round and like, I had to using this signal stealer thing.
Is that a Range Rover?
But by that time, I'd put a tracker on the second one. So after the first one got sold, I put a tracker on the second one, and it was just parked. It was parked in Tesco at Willardon.
Deal.
Yeah.
It's like Anderson as well.
You walked to Murray Park?
Was it Anderson?
So I only lived 5 minutes away, so I'd walk round, put my hood up, and walk round the corner.
We need to ask you about the debut, because we've not spoken about it enough. What was the Rangers debut?
Aberdeen
Proper.
at home.
And started the game?
Started the game, just
Oh, mate, that must have been incredible.
amazing, because I knew like my dad, my family and all that were there.
How many did you have at the game?
Again, Rangers at that time, you couldn't fucking get a ticket, man. Like, it was like 2 tickets you used to get.
Aye.
Scrambling about for 2 tickets for the lounge, 2 for the normal, wasn't it?
Two lounge, 2 club deck.
But I managed to sneak a few more on my mates and that were there, just walking down the tunnel with the music playing and that. You know, you dream it, like we all say, like we dream of playing for the team, like you always wanted to. Just walked, it was some, like, if you could bottle that feeling up and sell it, man, you'd be on my way now.
Do you spot your dad in that straight away?
I do it every game anyway. I always look for my dad, make sure I know where they're sitting. Do it with the kids now as well, just because the kids are there, but I've done it for years, it was good.
Gives you goosebumps, didn't it?
So that summer, Alan McGregor, Goldson, Brian Kent, Arfield, they all joined that summer. See, actually, when you look back at it now, like you talk about the windows,
they're all
and
good
recruitment
players.
The Rangers have had, like,
They were the players that Rangers should have been signing.
Can you tell me, does the standards right straight away for Gerrard, do they just go up straight away for the training?
And like immediately.
And what the intensity of training?
Just intensity of training, but even around the place, like the food, intensity. Like I never done pre-season before. I don't know what it was like, but pre-season was so hard.
What's that?
Like La Cala in Marbella, we went. It was roasting. We had all that, but then the standard of player went up as well with the names he said there. Like even people like Arfield, I remember blatantly lying to Scott Arfield when he phoned me. Because he was coming before Gerrard was coming. So he phoned me like, I've got a chance to come to Rangers, like what's it like? And at this time, it wasn't great. No, that's brilliant, man. Like, you'll love it, whatever. I'm sure he'll forgive me now because he came up and done brilliant. But them coming in, standard of training went up, everything went up. We started the season well, I know they never won the league that year, but you could tell things were definitely better than the year before.
See, the food, did he not like the dal?
He didn't like the dal.
The dal go.
that La Cala trip was the one that we spoke about. You would have played in it with the Spanish ref that refereed the bounce game at the end of the week.
That was Ryan Jackson.
He was offside by like 10 yards.
10 yards offside, and he just played on.
He just played that, like, I think Gerrard even shouted at the side, like, play on, everyone just ignored the ref. It was the only game I've ever played with, people just started ignoring the ref.
See, in training that, is Gerrard, is he on boys in training, or is he more reserved?
No, he was more reserved, wasn't he? Michael Beale would get on at people a little bit, but he would kind of observe. Like, you would never know what he was thinking. That was the kind of
That's
thing.
a good thing.
Well, that's what I said. That's what I used to say. It was like, if he spoke, it fucking meant something. Like, you know, if he was stepping in at some point in training, it was like, fuck me, he's going to go mental about something. So it wasn't like he was never one to just speak for the sake of it.
So did he go full training sessions without saying a word, Stephen Gerrard? Like the standard was decent?
Nah, when they say a full,
Nah,
there would be encouragement in there, maybe a few coaching tips, but in terms of like, you know, stopping a drill, like, if the session was good, they wouldn't stop any drills or that. Or he would just let the session flow and he would just say his bits. But if it wasn't going well, like he would step in and.
I can't believe I've never asked you this, but did he ever go? Was he ever like trying to get his point across and go, I want it like this, and actually show it himself?
No, that I can.
Usually they joined in though, didn't he?
He would zing balls, like see he would do in the shooting and that, he would do the balls and like not a ball off like an inch of the grass, just everyone.
Did you train I've told this a couple of times, but did you train the day he trained for the first time? Like he actually joined in the 6-a-side. It was in Marbella.
When he was blowing? Was it that day? No.
Look, it was when he dinked, I don't know if it was Griggsy or the other goal, but he dinked him on the outside of the foot.
No, I can't remember
that,
no, but like he would it, like he could still play. Him and all his staff would invite
5-a-sides.
Russell the boy that cuts your hair, he plays for like an over 35s team, They would come into the training ground and they
They
would
play
have
the
full
staff
on
every
games.
Friday.
Is it
Aye.
Russell Cowie?
Aye. So we'd have
Play the
full
staff
games,
every
his
Friday.
team against all the staff team.
And then cut
We
the after it.
physio playing right back and that, and like Gerrard's getting on. They took it serious and that. Mashed people and stuff.
Love, did you go on with Morelos?
Aye, but the Morelos was just difficult because he didn't speak, especially when I first went in, didn't speak a word English. Not a word. So you couldn't really have a conversation with him. You could kind of communicate with like hands or shout his name or whatever, but like it was really difficult. I know you got on a lot with him. You were there.
I loved him,
when he
man.
was there. And he wasn't a bad guy at all. It was just
everybody says that. Don't they?
it was just like he did his own thing, really. Like, and then Jordan Jones came in, and him and Jordan Jones were best pals.
Aye.
That's a strange combo, isn't it?
Wild.
He says he used to text him and he would translate it in Google Translate and send.
And then send it back. That is a strange combo. But you scored the first goal of the Gerrard era.
Aye,
Talk us through it.
Scoopy. Again, and we talk about moments and stuff like scoring that first goal under Gerrard, full Ibrox, like in Europe. I know we should have won anyway, but he's scoring it. I've still got the pictures and stuff up in the house. It's like you think, right, this is where it takes off. Like playing every week with Rangers. I think I won the penalty. I scored, won the penalty for the second goal. Like it's always just going to be as easy as this. I mean, go for here, but things change.
How hot was it over there?
Oh,
The second leg.
Wait,
it
where is it?
Macedonia?
Macedonia.
Is it?
It was like 44 degrees.
I think we drew 0-0 over there, didn't we?
No, aye, but it was walking football. We were
Aye.
like, fuck it, 0-0, we're 2-0 up.
We'll take that.
Well, do you know what? I never even realised, man. I feel terrible. You just got done your ACL.
Aye, it was a bad one.
Was that at Rugby Park?
That was Rugby Park.
Was it-
I proper remember. I remember everything about it.
Aye.
The ball over the top, you run down to the
Yep.
channel.
Was it even? So was it just running, or was it a challenge, or would you think it was down to the surface?
Do you know what? It was probably the perfect storm at Everton.
Everything.
Cat plays the ball over the top. And people say it was the Astro and all that kind of stuff. I just know if it's no Astro, the ball goes out. Like, so it goes over the top, it lands on the Astro, and it does that stupid check up thing. So it does that. So I go to go again. I kind of half stop, and then I kind of go to go again. And Broadfoot kind of bumps me at the same time. And it just feels like my whole bottom of my leg goes like that. But I've watched that again and looked at the picture of that. It doesn't actually look too bad. But I knew.
Do
you know straight away you did, didn't you?
I wasn't in any pain or that. I know, like, the stretch of my half, and I know I'm kind of in tears and all that kind of stuff. It's more because I knew what had just happened. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't
See,
like
before
sore.
that, did you think you'd have been a massive part of Gerrard's plans? Had he told you that?
In my head, I was, like, I'd kind of played most
Well, you're
games.
playing
coming
every
up.
game, basically.
Aye.
Yeah.
And I had a good, personally, a good 4 or 5 months the season previous. So I'm thinking, right, this is the season. I help Rangers get back to kind of where they should be. That was the, you think of the best case scenario in your head. That was mine. To get us back to winning and that. And then that kind of happened, and it kind of all went. So it was a low point. And I still remember my dad coming down for the stand. They take me in. I'm speaking to the physios. I'm looking at the physio, and he's kind of, he doesn't know what to say because there's no been a scan of that, but he's kind of nodding his head like, that's a bad one. My dad sits with me till after half time, and my dad's like, right, we'll be back out to watch the game. Should we watch the second half? But it was, so I had to wait and get the scan done. Torn ACL, torn meniscus.
How was Gerrard with you when that happened?
I was good at the time, but then you kind of get the thing where injured players just won their part of it. Do you know what I
You
mean?
just get forgotten about it.
So-
don't you?
I hardly see them. Do you know what I mean? I'm in early having breakfast at a different time. I'm finished my session maybe before they are. I've got another session coming, so I've got to eat before they all come in. It was difficult. It was hard.
Was that the first time you had a long-term injury?
Yeah, I'd never really had injuries before that. You get niggles and little things here and there, but in terms of being out for a significant amount of time, that was the first. Which people say you're unlucky in that, but to get to 28, I was.
That's what I'm just going to say. You're lucky. The first one was at 28.
Aye, the problem was it was a bad one.
Did you not feel the same player again after it?
I felt alright. Do you know, the biggest thing was they took a bit of my hamstring for my ACL, and my hamstring's never kind of been the same. So I don't think I've ever got the same speed back. Like, you get to a certain point, but I still don't think I was just sharp.
Is that what they did? They take a bit for your hamstring for your ACL?
We'll take a skin graft
Aye.
somewhere usually.
So I remember the physio was in watching it.
And
He was
somebody
telling me,
rubbing your
see, they take a
hamstrings?
hook. It's like sort of like a long hook, and they stick it up inside your skin. Nicks a bit there, nicks a bit there. So you've got a bit of your hamstring about that. Double fold it drill, put it in. So that's New Year. ACL. But the biggest thing was because I'd done my meniscus at the same time, they had to repair that. So they repair that and then they say there's a 75% chance that in 2 years this will burst. So I was like, it's no great odds, like just cut it out in the first place. But no, you need to be doing the rehab on the knee. So like other people may be different. I had to have crutches for the first 3 months. And then it gets through to the February of that year. So I did it in August, get through to the February and it bursts. I do my miss, I have to go in and get it cut out. So that's how I missed the rest of that season. So it ended up being 12, 14 months.
Hardest part of your career?
I thought it was going to be, at the time, like,
you signed for
nothing.
I'm kidding.
And then going to Hibs was just a disaster in terms of my hamstring. I couldn't get it right at all. I think I had 6 hamstring injuries in 1 year.
That is mad, that, and see after a serious injury how much other things then start to happen.
I wonder, it's strange, mate, the exact same. I done my ACL and then after that, I don't know, when you're doing your rehab and building certain stuff up, I don't know, feels like you start picking up other injuries as well. You just don't, I never felt, I mean, I was absolutely rapid when I was younger, but see after my knee, I don't know what it was, I just never felt the same.
There's nothing that you can kind of, personally, I don't think there was anything else I could have done. I was in the gym twice a day, doing my stuff, doing my rehab. When the running was there, doing my running, doing all that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But you just don't feel right for a while. And do you know what? It's probably till I left Hibs that I started maybe kind of feeling back to kind of where I was without that maybe explosive pace that I could have had before.
You're never expecting any sympathy of fans, but it's the part that like fans don't kind of see in it.
Yeah.
How much work you're putting in every single day to try and get back. Like, it's the lowest point of your career because you can't get fit, you can't obviously make an impact, but fans just see, well, fuck me, he's injured again.
You become paranoid as well, I think.
Like everyone's talking about he's at it.
No, even when you come back,
when you go to play.
I see when you play or training and stuff, or even if I used to keep feeling a pain in the front of my knee, and I kept thinking, oh my God, this is going to go again.
Everything turns into a big problem.
Oh my God, your head goes crazy with it.
So I never really felt kind of a part of that, especially that first season. So I think I put out a photo on Twitter, like me and the physios, because they were my teammates for a year, almost more. Like I love spending, like I'd rather not been spending time with them, but the time I spent with them, I really got to know them, still speak to some of them. Like good times with the physios, but it's just unfortunate what it was.
Who was your closest pals at Rangers?
Andy, obviously one of them. And then there was a few. We had a little card school. Griggsy is obviously another.
No, like that.
No, Andy. No.
Nah.
So was you Griggsy, Arfield,
Jacko,
Jack, Greg
Stewart was.
We had a card school. That was a card school.
Card school. It was golf and all that. You played, wasn't it?
Card school used to turn into a riot, man.
Did it?
Because we'd be on the flight playing it. If we're going away in Europe, me and Griggsy both don't like flying. But I kind of try and hide it. Griggsy does. Griggsy's shouting at
cards.
Greg Stewart, but no pay.
Yeah.
But do you not play that?
Nah, there's been an ongoing debate for 4 years that he's still in debt with the card school, but.
Who's he, Joe Dota Oyas?
I
can't even remember.
I tell you what, it's like, no, the game of cards that we play, like, if somebody's shite, like, good because you win money, but if somebody's shite, it actually fucks you know what I mean?
Right,
so we should go mental, like, what the fuck are you playing that for?
Greg, I don't think Greg Stewart actually knew how to play it.
He just wanted
the ball.
Would Greg
Sure, we were close.
They lost?
Nah.
Is he alright?
Griggsy.
Actually, I'd probably lose it more than anyone, I'd say.
Aye.
Nah, you could be an
So we
angry
were
man,
always
couldn't
like me
you? You
and
were there for the McGregor story as well.
Yeah. That's obviously when he told it was amazing. But at the time, the thing I remember most about it was, obviously, you tell him we were on the night out the night before. It was your Christmas too, wasn't it?
And he was dressed up as a Smurf.
He was dressed as a Smurf. I wasn't sure if you'd said that.
McGregor was dressed as a Smurf at the time. Have you seen that? Have you told that, have you?
So what it was is we
all
done colours, aye.
Right.
So it was like fucking trying to find 30 colours by it's so fucking easy.
Aye.
Nobody was green.
No, nobody was green. But mate, I'll never forget I got beige and I was fucking devastated to get beige because you just
in a
look
t-shirt and
shite.
shorts on.
But it's one of them where people think that's your outfit. So
Cause,
there's nothing funny you can do. But I'll never forget when Lee Wallace spun leather, mate. I swear to God. It is one of the
What did he
greatest.
wear? Tenerife as well?
Leather t-shirt and that.
He had leather shoes on, leather shorts, leather shirt. Mate, he was fucking devastated because if there's one guy that doesn't get involved with shit,
But we were all like shorts, t-shirt, like a luminous yellow I was, so I had like luminous everything. but Gareth McCauley got purple. And he said his wife done him in, but I don't know if they did. Because he was purple. She said he got his wife to pack his case, and she put a purple Teletubby outfit. So we were all just dressed in colours, and he was dressed in a purple Teletubby. So him and Greasy were the only two that like went fancy dress. We were all just colours.
Right.
So he got blue. Greasy?
So Greasy was blue, and went as a
blue's clothes,
but like fully painted his face, like full blue.
Sorry.
No, so the one I remember was he was in the room next to me. And usually it's me or Andy that's responsible for Greasy when he's had a drink.
Right.
So we're out and he's had a drink. Greasy never answers his phone when he's had a drink. We go down for breakfast, he's no there.
But that was Gerrard's thing, wasn't it?
Aye.
9 o'clock breakfast, be there. Like,
He's no there for the time. So I'm like, I go up and bang his door, eventually get him up. He answers the door, honestly, and the sweat's pissing off his face. They've turned the heating on the night before.
And he's doing something.
So he's absolutely sweating, man, and he's like, all right, breakfast. I thought, what's going on? I was like, you're late for breakfast? He's like, no. I was like 9 o'clock or whatever. And he's like, nah, you're late. He's like, oh, fuck. He's like, I can't get this half. So his face is blue. So he just puts, because he's with Greasy, when he has a drink, he's still steaming the day after. So he just puts shorts, t-shirt, flip-flops on and goes down, and his face is still blue. So he's sitting at breakfast, just eating with a blue face.
I'll never.
And is Gerrard just laughing at it, or is he?
He'd gone.
Oh, he'd gone.
He'd gone, aye. So which I don't know if it was a good idea or not, they left us with just physios. So all him and his staff left.
And you went and sat at a bar the next day?
No,
well,
we
it was
were
a Christmas
fucking
do.
going to a beach club fucking all day at the beach club. That's when all this happened. And then we were
And then he obviously falls asleep because he's still roughy the night before.
Aye, but we put him to bed because he was fucked. And that, obviously we've then turned the heating on. But that's what I'll never forget. When obviously eventually turns up to breakfast, he's got his fucking porridge, whatever, sat down. First thing he says was, my room was fucking ruined. First thing he says, he's fucking sweating.
So are you sitting in that with him when he falls asleep? And Andy, is it you just goes, I'm going to change his number?
He took his phone, aye.
Took his phone, changed his number, obviously got the picture. But the best part for me was when we were back at the hotel.
We were playing cards in the hotel.
Everyone had went to bed, we stayed and played cards, but like we were still playing along with it, and his head's fucking gone.
You can see him on his phone as we're playing.
Every 2 minutes he's texting me.
Who went outside? Did you go outside or Waldo go outside to phone him?
Me and Waldo went outside because Waldo's usually quite quiet, and Waldo was all in it, man.
That leather gear's brought out outside of him.
So he kept telling me how to say, he's giggling like a wee schoolgirl, mate.
So what are you saying when you're phoning her?
I'm just it's screw arms and legs, mate. By this point, I'm just saying anything. But it's like I said to you, got to the point where like I just started saying ridiculous things because I want him,
the volley thing.
The volleys is amazing.
But his head was that gone. You know what it's like. I didn't want it to keep going the next day, so I started getting progressively more stupid. Hopefully he realised, but he just kept believing everything I was saying. It was fucking.
And then does Gerrard find out about this story that this has happened?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
He probably, I don't know if he knows now.
Do you know what's another funny thing I remembered about that day? So we went to Clone a beach club, right? We sound like pure fucking idiots playing cards and all that.
I know what you're going to say.
So we play something. What did we play to see who went and got the cards?
I don't know. I think we obviously rigged it.
We're in the beach club, right? So we played this game. Loser goes to get the cards. The nearest shop's fucking miles away. So sure enough, Greasy loses. He's already fucking steaming. So fuck off, man. Mate, he's away for about 2 hours, isn't he? Eventually,
oh man,
we just see this guy.
He just bouncing
along and this back at cards in his head.
Face still half blue, but he's still
blue.
going like
that fucking place was miles away.
That's brilliant, man.
Like, do you know what? Like we all talk about Greasy, all that kind. Greasy's one of the best professionals.
Yes, I say this all the time.
See when
Train like an animal,
train like an
in the
animal.
gym all the time, like what he eats, like.
Do you know when you done a shooting drill? Like all the time, obviously he was the first team goalie. Like he wouldn't always do the shooting drill, but when he done a shooting drill, you couldn't score.
Really?
You couldn't score past him, and if you scored past him, he was so annoyed at himself. So like, I really admire the fact that he lives his life the way he wants to live it. But when he's on it, he is the best.
I love that. To see people like that train like fucking then go. Like, it's the best way to be.
But he's like 2 drinks and he's fucking steaming, isn't he? Like
even playing golf with Greasy is great. Like we played Dundonald. I know it was last year before. So when he's having a drink, he asked me to pick him up. So he's like, I'm having a drink. Like we're playing at 9 o'clock in the morning. He's like, I'm having a drink. Can you pick me up and make sure I'm up? So I was like, right, I'm there, I'm buzzing his gate and I'm phoning and that. He's like, I'm coming, I'm up. But he's in the car, he's still steaming. I could tell he's still steaming. So on the way down, he tells me all these stories I've no heard and all that kind of stuff. We get down there as a pint, play 9 holes, another couple, play the last 9, back in, has another couple before we go home. We get back in the car, he tells me the exact same stories. Tell me on the way down, because he couldn't remember, he'd tell me them in the morning.
But you've played with Wes. Like, Wes a good goalie, mate. Like, great career, played in the English Premier League and that. And I thought Wes was a really good goalie. But see, when Griggsy signed me and came in, and it was like, fucking hell, man. Like you say, like, you're talking about shooting drills in general. Nobody could score into him. Honestly, like, one-on-one chances, like, you just knew he was going to save it all the time. So you were just like, for you thinking you've got already a good goal at the football club, to then Griggsy sign it was like, fucking.
He was brilliant.
What's the angriest? What's the angriest you've ever seen him?
Just anything stupid, mate.
When he kicked Mark McNulty in the back.
That's what you said. I never even fucking touched him in the video come back.
Kicked the ball, he didn't even touch him, I haven't done. Fucking.
That is magic.
Nah, do you know what used to infuriate him? Borna, letting crosses in. But do you know that just shows his professionalism as like a goalie. Like, if his fullback was letting crosses in, even if he never had to make a save, he was going wild at like Barisic about letting crosses in.
No wonder, man, the amount of crosses he let in. Right, nearly there, mate. You got a burnt, like you said, with Nigel Clough, Hibs as well. But again, said didn't feel the same.
No.
Where'd you go after that? Back to Rangers? You're a Rangers player when Rangers win the league?
No, well, technically, but I've loaned and the deal's already been signed, so it was one of the loan to buy things. So I'm technically a Rangers player when they win the league, but I'm not a part of it at all. There's no a part of me that feels, which it was disappointing because
no?
Nah, after the injury I never felt as if I was fully, like, with the boys and that, great and whatever, but like as a Rangers player it was.
Did the FaceTime you when they won it? Because you got a FaceTime, didn't you? Did you get a FaceTime?
Nah,
obviously I liked Andy better.
And Gerrard like really liked Andy, to be fair. Not that he didn't like me, I just never really had. Like, there wasn't many conversations with him, if you know what I mean. Like, he wasn't a bad guy or that, and whenever I did speak to him, he was absolutely fine.
Yeah.
But like, there wasn't a lot said.
So where were you when Rangers won the league? Down south?
No, I was at Hibs.
Oh, Hibs.
I was in Hibs. So the first season was a loan at Hibs, but it had already been done that I was signing for the next year. So
right.
I was still at Hibs.
Where you watch it, just in the house?
Just in the house, aye. Was it COVID? It was COVID, wasn't it? Aye. So
you couldn't be part of that?
Couldn't even go or that, aye.
Were you emotional? See, when you were leaving Rangers, were you gutted?
I was gutted, aye, but like, I remember when I kind of knew I had to leave, I'd came back the summer before. We signed 6 wingers the summer before when I'm almost fit, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I never really feel like I was going to get a chance. He actually said to me, like, I don't think you'll be fit till October. So I was like, but by October you've started playing all these new signings, and if they're playing, you're not just going to leave them out the squad, like, for me. So it did get really difficult, and then the following summer I come back for Burton, he's like, come back into the squad. But I don't know if it was just kind of saying that because it was COVID and I had no option or whatever, other things. And we did this shape. Were you still there? You'd
No.
left by that time? We did shape for Aberdeen, first game of the season, but he only takes 14 players there to do the shape. So there's like 5 or 6s, and we just had like 4 asides over here. Like, and I'm thinking, like, what? So none of us are like, we're all on the bench, like none of us are playing. So sure enough, the 11 play, and the 3 subs that he takes over, they all come on. I was just sitting there like, what is like the point in me waiting here?
Yeah.
Which was heartbreaking, really, because like I'd always, like, everything was building up to me getting to Rangers and that, and then having to leave. But it was 1,000,000% the right
Do you go to him or does he come to you?
I think he maybe the next squad I kind of wasn't in it, and I went to see him and whatever, and I was like there's no animosity or whatever. It's just my time's finished here. I need to start like going to play football. And he was like, yeah, I probably agree. Like, no, I will. Shook his hand, moved on.
Well, through all your years with Rangers, who was the one player you would say was the best, the one that really did it?
Oh, out that first team, I don't think there was many that kind of stayed. There wasn't. Was there? Tavernier, obviously, Tav stayed.
When you first went?
There was kind of me, you, Tav, and then the full team was different. Aye, Alfredo was there. But watching, maybe when Defoe first came in, you knew Defoe
Was he different?
some player when he like at training and that. just wee things that he would do, and he was good with stuff. He would tell you about them and stuff like that. But then Stevie Davis, I don't think I actually got the chance to stay with, to play with Davo, but watching for the side and that, just never looked in trouble at any point. Never looked as if he was going to get
that.
Oh, he's top,
Incredible.
Stephen Davis.
So probably one of the two.
Brilliant, mate.
And then what was it like under Jack Ross?
I got on really well with him. John Potter was brilliant as well, the two of them. But again, I've no fond memories of Hibs just because of the hamstring injuries. I think I injured my second game in, so I'm out for a month, play a couple of months, out for 6 weeks, and then at the end, was it that season? Yeah, at the end of that season, so I do my hammy in like the March, and it's about 6 weeks. First day back training, I do it again. It's gone. And I remember
at that stage you just feel like chucking it?
I said to the physio, I remember that day saying to the physio, Tommy, I said, like, I'm going to have to chuck it here. I can't keep doing this. But he's like, no, stick with it and whatever. So I managed to get myself fit for the cup final. Got myself on the bench for the cup final, which we lost to St Johnstone.
What was the feeling in the dressing room when Jack Ross lost his job? Was it the week before?
Leading up to
No, that was the Scottish Cup. We got the Scottish Cup final that season, and then we got to the League Cup final, and the week before he lost his job. Aye.
Was that?
So we finished third, got to the Scottish Cup final. I think we maybe lost 5 or 6 games, but sometimes I think that just happens in the SPL or whatever. And the week to go at the cup final, like won the cup semi-final, all that kind of stuff. Week to go at the cup final, sacked him. Couldn't believe it.
What was the feeling in the drip with the boys?
Gutted. Everyone was gutted. Aye, everyone loved the gaffer. Aye. You always get 1 or 2 that are like he's no played or whatever that aren't happy, but you've got him, John Potter, or sacked him. Like brilliant guys. You were saying earlier about Gerrard maybe no coming and sitting with me at lunch. You could come and sit and talk about anything with Jack. He would come and talk to you about anything. Same with John Potter. So to see him back, that was gutting for everyone really.
And David Gray, was he a caretaker manager?
He took over for that game specifically, and he gave. I think it's the best pre-match team talk I've ever heard.
Go on, let's hear it.
Who?
David
Gray.
Yeah.
Sang Babylon, didn't he?
No.
That's terrible.
Do you know, I've got a lot of time for that.
Did
I
you?
love the wee jokes, aye.
He did sing it.
He spoke about scoring the winner in the cup final, obviously for Hibs.
And stop talking about yourself, innit? No, I'm kidding. Sorry.
And he spoke about scoring the winner and how it changed his life and what it meant to him, how he wanted that feeling for us, how he'll never get that again. His career was finished, and that this was our chance to get that feeling, be remembered. And I remember taking the lead of the game, and I'm like, everyone was like ready for the game after that, and we took the lead, didn't we? We took the lead about 70 minutes, something like that, and I'm thinking, we're going to beat them here. Like, we're going to win. 30 seconds later, they scored straight for kick-off. Couldn't believe it. Back 4 snoozing, right at the top. Kyogo scored. I don't think you still couldn't see because the fact that I think they'd set the pyro up.
That's right.
And you still couldn't really see, so I've never really watched it.
We were streaming at that game. That was the game we were taking it as the car park. Remember, you messaged us saying you two are a fucking disgrace.
Aye, we were in a trolley as the car.
Sitting in a trolley as the car park.
Embarrassed herself yet again.
You did do well that day.
So if we kept it 1-0 for another 10 minutes, man, just for the fact that they scored it was just like, they're going to score again here, and they did.
Did you see him, Murph, at the end, did you see him as being a future Hibs manager?
I think it was kind of always set that way, wasn't it? I mean, they call him Sir David Gray, do you know what I mean? Like, somebody with that nickname at a club, like, they're always going to get a job at some point. But he was really good at his coaching and stuff.
Think he'll do well?
I think he will, aye. I think Hibs is a hard place to do well, which is a problem, but he certainly got everything about him.
How was Shaun when he came in? Because when he got the job, you were quite excited about that appointment. I think he was going to play this new brand of football that we'd seen under Belgium. Was that the case? Like, was he quite impressive in terms of how he set you up?
Brilliant. I really liked him in that, and like the way he had his training and wanted us to play. It's kind of again.
It's a completely different terrain you'd had before.
Again, we go back to Jim Gannon stuff. Like it was like stuff like that. Like, you know, your false fullback. Like if they go there, we go here.
So do you think Martinez took it off Gannon?
But he definitely took it off Martinez, all that stuff. Even like in terms of, maybe the bad thing was in terms of the training, we were in almost every day. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know people might think that sounds stupid for a football player to say, like, we're working every day, but like most teams, you're no like that. So it took a bit of getting used to the way he'd done things. And sometimes you were only on the pitch for half an hour, right, and the other part was the meeting. So he came in and I really got on with it. I thought he was training, everything was really good. He just never played me. I was on the bench. I was coming on every game. I never started the game from when he came in. I'd even come on and scored in that. But then I knew I was out of contract at the end of the season, so I went to see them and I was like I kind of need to know like what your plans are. Like, are you going to keep me around? Like, and he was kind of humming and hawing, and I kind of knew like I could just sit here for the next 3 months, maybe play sporadically and then leave, or Nigel Clough was like, come down and play at Mansfield.
Cause it was strange because they were playing decent football, we're not creating a lot of chances.
No.
Am I right in saying that about Maloney's time?
Aye, that's exactly what it was.
And again, I thought he got sacked far too early as well. I know, but he only lasted 2 months, 3 months.
Yeah.
But as you said, if you're going to get a guy who's doing completely
it takes
different
a bit of
play, then you need to at least try back.
Like, imagine you at East Kilbride kind of went into somebody new, like trying to explain that way of playing to somebody who's never played it like that before. You're not going to do it in a month. Do you know what I mean? It's going to take a bit of time.
Definitely, mate. I hit Mansfield back with Nigel.
Back with the gaffer, pub quizzes still up.
Mate, he does sound. I wish I'd played
incredible.
under somebody
Did you
like
wanted to
Nigel
play
Clough.
for him? That was the thing.
We've always says we'd love to get him on. If there's anyone that can sort it, it's Jamie Murphy.
Nah, he's no god. Nah, he's
Would you not do it?
nah.
What was that
That's
commonly known?
devastating,
Did the boys say that you were his son? Was that the patter?
You kind of get the bit. Like, I was doing kind of that well at the time that it wasn't like taking the piss out or anything like that.
Did I ever say to you, you're my favourite?
No. Imagine a gaffer saying that to you, man.
What do you think, like, again, because you say like you didn't feel the same play, but you go down there and you score goals again there.
Mansfield wasn't as successful as
Burton, right.
Aye. Kind of, do you know what?
Did you not score in your debut or something? No, you not scored.
No, I scored a couple of games after the debut, but it was completely different kind of, because Burton was before the hamstring injuries. I don't even think it was my knee that was the speed thing. I think it was definitely the hamstring injury.
Yeah.
You know, if you get a bad hamstring injury, trying to sprint. It got to the point at Hibs where I was like, I can't physically go 100% here in case it goes.
Michael.
You need to get that frame of mind.
Michael and Torres got exact
But
both.
Similar personalities, though. Let's be on.
Just shooting into wee young goalies.
Into bins.
Remember that point I've been. Remember that Neville Southall 13, Michael.
And Callum Davidson, mate, St Johnstone, how did you find that?
Callum Davidson was really good. He just kind of come in, and again, I went in, and that's kind of the time where I started feeling hamstring felt alright here. I can go
You
here.
said he used to rub it every day, so Callum.
No, I done pre-season, everything was great. The boys were great as well. We had a great group of boys in there. Like, they all loved their golf. Callum Davidson loved his golf. He plays off like +4.
Does he?
Like that. They would just rock up. We'd all be up there warming up, and that he'd just rock up to the tee, down the middle of the green, make the putt, carry on. He was brilliant. So we had golf days all the time because he was so good. But then I had a weird thing in my contract. It's not a weird thing, but I had to play 25 games for another year. So Callum Davidson saying I'm playing all the time, kind of. And then, like, I stopped playing. Like, I feel like I'm doing well, but I stopped playing. And I'm like, but then I'm not even getting on the pitch. Like,
Politics.
people start getting on ahead of me that I think, I don't know if it was for wherever, like, I don't know if it was, I would doubt it would be Callum Davidson or Stephen McLean or whatever, maybe from above, but many appearances do you think I made?
24.
24.
Why did they put stuff like that in your contract?
So it gets to the late to the end of the season and they say, look, you can't be in the squad for the last game. I'm like, I didn't even want to go in. So I didn't go back in. That was me done.
That's shocking.
Which was, I was disappointed.
Was your money going up now at the 25th, or was it just purely getting another year?
No, yeah. So I got on really well, like, and I was doing well when I came on, and it was like.
I remember you coming on, giving us hearts at Park.
I came on and scored. Aye. So I got on really well with Callum Davidson, Liam Craig, Steve McLean. They're all great guys. It was just disappointing how it ended. I was taking the kids out on the pitch on the Saturday and that as well, so I never even got a chance to do all that kind of stuff. So it kind of ended a bit sour, but happens sometimes.
Rubbish. What a career, by the way.
Can we ask one question? Me and Slaney, all guys said that you were the best 11.
Best 11.
Best 11.
Every guest, we need to find out the best 11.
By the way, this will be fucking hard. Andy, you know you're 11 if you want to fire it off when he starts.
No. We'll do that.
Wait, another week.
It's just
His is a screamer.
His team.
Belter, but my foot.
I know he's kind of there, so I had a wee thing about it. And some of them were easy, some of them were harder, but Griggs' a goalie. The boy Bruno, right back, Brighton. Lewis Stunk, Harry Maguire, 2 centre-halves. I put Stevie Hamill at left back. Like, I don't think I can.
Teams are attacking that side of your back four, mate, I'm telling you.
Probably.
Nah.
But in terms of having the ball, He was brilliant for me. He used to just give me the ball,
was
like
great.
let
We've done
me
that,
go on and do it. Like
Felt
always
he gave
wanted
him
to
the ball
play.
more than he gave you the ball.
I kept Diax.
A few times. And then you get to midfield, you've kind of got Andy Knockaert would be on the right. He was unplayable sometimes at Brighton. Then midfield, you kind of Dale Stephens was always brilliant for us at Brighton.
Great player, Dale.
But then if you're going for names, you've kind of got Connor Cody. He played midfield for us. Steve Sidwell could have in there. Kai Alfley.
No gingers allowed. That's the one rule of the 11.
I'll put Dale Stephens in there, but Stephen Davis would have been in there, but I never
What
actually
about
had
Gross?
time on the pitch. Again, and I only had a 3-4 months with him, and he wasn't flying at the time. Obviously, he's went on today, whatever. The left's a hard one because it's always been me. I'll put Slaney in there. Slaney can go in there.
Oh, I like it.
No,
It's a nice touch.
No way, mate, no way.
That is a nice touch.
I don't deserve it.
Hamill and Slane in amongst that left side.
What a left side.
That is a gingy left, isn't it?
Ginger pubes galore, innit? That's getting mauled that side. I put a proper left winger in.
I'm trying to think of left wingers that kind of.
Kent?
Ryan Kent would be. Kenny was Kenny had the ability Kenny had sometimes was brilliant. Maybe Solly March as well. You could put Solly up front. Glenn Murray has to be in
What
there.
a player Glenn Murray, mate.
Glenn Murray, you did not want him in your team.
Was he brilliant, that
Great
guy?
player, mate.
You did not want him in your team in a five-a-side at any point or any possession of that. But you go on a Saturday, he's the first guy you want in your team.
Mate, he's probably the best I've seen in the air in terms of linking the play with his head.
Wherever you, like, brilliant for me as a winger, wherever I would put the ball in the box, he was there.
Yeah.
Like, I shank across at the front post, he's at the front post. I float one to the back, he's at the back post.
Brilliant,
and he
Glenn
scored every week. That season we got promoted.
What
Every
other
single
strikers
week.
were good? Anybody else?
We played, Kitson was good, but he was a bit older. Bobby Zamora was...
Bobby Z.
He's just called.
I thought that's what he was known as. I've not
Big
meant that
Bobby
as
Z.
if.
Bobby Z.
I didn't mean that as if.
Obviously.
Where'd you play with him, Brighton?
Brighton.
He came back to Brighton.
He was older at the time, and,
Yeah.
he couldn't play. He was slowing down.
Mate,
but I still
tell me you played with David McGoldrick.
No, I never. No,
Sheffield
I
United?
missed him at
Oh,
Sheffield.
what a
He's
player.
still bagging him in.
Oh, he's
Seen that goal he scored the other day?
What a player he was.
But Bobby Zamora, I still don't know what foot Bobby Zamora was.
Really?
He would take penalties left, sometimes with his right. Like, amazing in the air, like, could pin people, could run. At the time, he probably couldn't run, to be fair, at Brighton. It was coming to the end, but I'd have him up there as well. You can
Who's
see
your manager?
Defoe.
Nigel Clough.
Nigel Clough's the gaffer. Aye.
Well,
The one and only.
In your last meal.
That I mean dessert, mate. Too.
Oh, his would be shite,
Oh,
mate.
What's
He's
it?
a shite eater.
I'm the one thing I've never got is the diet of a football player.
Really? Have you always had shite?
I was a fry-up before a game, up until I went to Brighton.
Oh, yeah.
Like Nigel Clough encouraged it.
Oh, he was buzzing off that. Yes.
I was like, he heard, he was like, keep doing it. So we turn up at the hotel buffet for the night before, I'm
Gonna
full
fry-up.
fry-up. It was just feel like, growing up, my dad would make a fry-up on a Sunday morning, and then I would go to the game. So I never wanted to take it away, do you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
But then getting to Brighton, it was like, right, I bet this is professional, like proper professional now. I
Right,
bet
go on and start our main dessert.
Oh, everything Chinese. I'm going full Chinese.
Oh,
Aye.
right.
Starter. I love this.
Salt and pepper ribs. They say this is last meal or last night's meal. They could say either one.
I want to know what his dessert's going to be for Chinese though. That's what
Oh,
I'm
no,
going
no, I would go. What would I go dessert?
What's your main? Because main usually comes before dessert.
I would go. I would go the chicken satay skewers, but no chicken satay sauce on it with rice.
just.
but
Shoot him in now.
put curry sauce on it. I would
Oh,
have
the curry
curry sauce.
sauce.
Aye, I'm not having it
Aye,
dry. What you mean sand? I would put curry sauce in the top. So the skewers with the curry sauce.
Have you eaten the skewers as well?
And then dessert.
Rice and chips or just
I'd maybe get salt and pepper chips to dip in the curry sauce. Sounds nice.
and rice as well or no rice?
Oh, rice, fried rice, aye. No boiled rice, no that.
Fried rice.
House rice, no house rice. And then dessert, I like an apple combo like that for dessert.
I thought you were going to say an apple. That was a bit fucking...
Well, just tell you I'm
Meal
trying
and
a
an
Chinese and an
apple.
apple for dessert.
And one last alcoholic drink.
Oh, I know cider.
Yeah, I can't.
What, inches or Strongbow or?
Summersby cider. You only get it in Portugal.
Summersby.
My favourite, but you can't get it over here, so just
You only get Summersby cider in Portugal.
you
It's
can't.
not English.
You get it abroad. No, you can't get it over here.
No.
You need to import it.
What's the Portuguese beer as
You
well?
don't know that?
Sagre.
Superbock.
Superbock.
What a fucking
Shame,
guess by
mate. One of the best it's ever been. My
Thanks
God.
for having us, guys.
Oh, brilliant.